Hey, welcome back to Métropole Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is the 26th of September, 2024, and I'm joined by a guest who believes that all sports should not be televised. It's Patrick Sklar. How's it going, Patrick?
Hi, I'm doing well, and my petition will be able for signing after the stream. We're gonna finally get tennis off the
It's
airwaves.
about damn time
Too
with
many,
their racket.
too
Get
many
it?
sexy grunts.
Oh.
What? Sorry, what do you
Oh.
mean?
Oh, we both had a thing there. We originally were meant to both stream in red sweaters, and I
You chickened out.
changed. I chickened out. That is true. How you doing,
Yeah.
man? It's been a minute. I think like we meant to have you on stream for a while now, and you've just kind of been kicking the can down the road, trying to avoid going to the doctor, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, I've become kind of anti-doctor lately. Just been eating a lot of apples, but I've also just been. I don't. I had a cold like 3 or 4 weeks ago that just didn't seem to fully let up in a way that I never felt quite confident, like being on stream and talking for 2 hours straight.
I'm
Uh,
glad you're doing better, but I was
mhm.
worried you were avoiding me. And if there was that, we could maybe clear the air right now before we get into
Sure.
this next 3 hours.
Okay. Well, yeah. Do you have any pertinent questions you want to ask vis-a-vis me avoiding you?
What's something I did?
Yes.
Okay. With that, welcome to Startup
Okay. Hi,
Week.
everybody. It's Startup Week. Can't wait to get into Startup.
Patrick, as you might know, last week on Friday, Startup has changed in a way that I would describe as very different than how Standard has changed ever.
Yeah.
So 3 cards banned, and we have a new rule that limits the amount of 3-pointers you can put in your deck. And so far, it's been swell. Now, the
Yeah.
problem is I didn't know what Startup looked like before. So to me, it's just a better Startup overall. I can't, like,
Yeah.
I don't get that sort of, oh, wow, it's way better now. It's just like, oh, Startup's cool.
hmm
I played a whole bunch of Startup on Tuesday. We spent a lot of time talking. Tonight, we'll be doing the same as well. I
Cool.
have you played Startup? I don't think you play Startup. Do you even play Startup?
I played so much Midnight Sun Startup,
Me too.
and then a little bit of Parhelion Startup, and
Me too.
basically I played no Liberation Startup.
Me too.
Uh, and so I'm excited to finally actually play some Liberation Startup. I think that'll be pretty interesting.
Well, I got some decks pre-built. We can build a deck. Mind you, the deck list of the week right to the right of your head, camera facing, is a Mercury deck,
Here.
which is something that is standard, so we're probably not going to touch it, but we
Mhm.
might go back and touch it. We might actually end up having enough time to make a Mercury in Startup, which is a thing that you can do.
Cool.
In fact, might have to do. There's not that many
Mercury is one of the
options.
very few available criminals in Startup.
Yes,
True.
there are 4 of them, and Mercury is one of them. So you end up
hmm
playing it. Ash's startup, best startup. Yo, Lucas, how's it going? Ash's startup was like when it was just full of the most busted ice because nothing was getting banned in startup, and it
Yeah.
was just like enjoy your engrams and your gold farmers, and people
Yeah.
played game net. And I
Oh.
honestly I don't know if I liked it that much as I like playing
hmm
ads in the limited format. How you
Yeah.
doing?
Some of this will
Cecile.
be a minefield for me because I'll be like just thinking, oh man, boy, when Dawn comes out, you won't have to worry about this or that, or you will have to worry about this new thing. But I'm gonna try and keep it calm because like mostly when I've been like testing, it's been like Dawn plus Gateway.
Have you been
So I'm
testing?
very a little bit, but mostly
Okay,
like games here and there. I pay close attention to what is coming out these days
cool.
in the playtesting range.
I was very specific when we were talking about startup that Dawn, I think, is a really big point for startup going forward. Because if you ask
Yeah.
me, startup, some of the issues it's having structurally that make it such a weird format is that
hmm
it doesn't have a bed of answers to certain problems. Sometimes the problems are in the format and the answers are outside of the format. And that's the
hmm
sort of thing that Dawn can really easily seed that environment to be like, oh, there's always at least a damage option, a pinhole option,
hmm
a way to do this, a way to do that. So I'm excited to see, obviously, everyone's excited to see Dawn next year. It's going to be huge.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, that is something that I've noticed as well. When I did like look through kind of what is in startup when this new list came out, and like I think you mentioned as well, things like pinhole threading and hush
Yeah.
feel so essential
One
in
more
many
than the
ways. And
other.
one more than the other, but hush I feel like should be in startup.
Yeah,
Hush is such a
I
startup
agree.
coded card.
Yes.
It kind of boggles the mind that it isn't. Like I keep wanting to put Hush into a list, but I never will be able to because Hush is always going to be meant. Startup's always going to be meant to be a very tightly contained card pool.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Um,
We'll
yeah,
see
see how
what
it
Dawn
goes.
holds. Just to catch up on chat, Punitive Vacheron is great. Oh, I
Mhm.
forgot about Vacheron. You see what I'm saying, Pat? There's a card name I've constantly had to stop myself saying while playing with locals because it's so in my mind constantly so far no slips. I wait for the slips that happen after release when we can get Jeff to accidentally say the code names or the testing names,
Oh
which are
yeah, of
so
course,
much
yeah.
more fun.
Yeah, there's one card in particular that I think like everyone's going to be excited by mechanically,
Cool.
but I can't talk about it. So I
Y-
don't know. Blue Steel. Let's not do any kind of codes back and forth through the chat.
Shishu, I'm gonna be sad to lose border control. I would bet good money that we're gonna lose border control, but we're gonna get a control equivalent. I
Hmm.
feel like probably less than border control, but I'd be super surprised if there isn't a border control shaped hole in our hearts that Dawn will be able to fill. I would bet good money on it, I think.
The idea of op continuing to exist without a border
Yeah.
control
It's
is fair.
weird.
Yeah,
Feels
feels weird.
weird.
Like
So
I've
we'll
been
see.
joking that my throwback card next year will be border control in
Yeah.
my op list. Like that's it.
Yeah, imagine that you could do a double border control deck. Oh, it'd be sick.
Mhm.
Sun is what I heard. Hey, super not. Xavius 2.0. Do you feel like with the delay of full NSG support, we're in a very odd waiting room of sorts, or what are your thoughts? I'm not sure what you mean, delay full NSG support. If you mean the fact that Dawn was meant to come earlier than it ended up coming out, I was not surprised that it's delayed.
Mhm.
I think Dawn was announced, mind you, just about a year ago at Worlds last year, and it was a surprise. And saying that fundamentally rotation is going to happen faster and all this sort of stuff is going to happen faster, it needs to be done really, really well. I think Dawn coming out and the last FFG rotation of all time is going to be the biggest meta shakeup, and I think it is very difficult to nail that landing in ways that we won't understand until a year and a half from now after all the dust
Mm.
has settled. So I think it is, if I had everything my way and we did not live in the reality we live in, yeah, I would like more cards more consistently. Everyone would. As a content creator, I think also myself, I would like more cards all the time for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
But overall, the way things are going, I think I'd rather have it delayed than too soon for many, many reasons. So
Yep.
I'm honestly, I'm doing fine. I'm doing kind of fine. How are you feeling about it?
I mean, I'm feeling great, and I'm like separating how I feel about like what I've seen of it.
Mhm.
It it is meant to be a more or less evergreen set alongside System Gateway. Like I am quite happy that it's being like just play tested and developed into a mirror finish. Like I think that's what
Yeah.
you want it to be really. And just like System Gateway was made with like 10 years of hindsight from Netrunner players who've been playing the game since FFG came out with a core set. Like that's kind of the mentality of Dawn is like, well, now we have like 3 years of hindsight from Gateway. How can we help the new player experience
Yep.
from there? And so like that is kind of and that's kind of the consideration. It's just interesting to see that develop.
Just to re-rack, I feel like we should do this every once in a while for those who don't know. This is Pat. Pat
Okay.
is an old friend of mine. I've known him for probably a decade now at this point, which has been a great 10 years. But Pat
Yeah,
also works at NSG on the narrative team. I do
that is
not, so
true.
I don't know what's going on behind the scenes besides the emails I get every once in a while to talk about an article that hasn't come out yet. But yeah, Pat will be a bit more cagey about it because he obviously has a bit more skin in the game. Jordan's
Yeah,
saying, yeah, go ahead.
I do like I have really liked speculating in the past, but now I feel like I no longer can, and
I don't think you
it
can.
it it hurts me, and I can no longer speculate about even narrative stuff either because
Yeah.
yeah, it's frustrating.
Jordan's saying, here's a funny fact. Parisha, Bones, Scrubber, and Imp all rotate with Dawn. Yeah, that is
Mm,
wild. The whole
yep.
space for having something. And that's the sort of card that I think having an access in Dawn for a card that you can use to trash and manage board states is going to be really
Hmm.
important. We've also seen this, the like really weird history of trashable cards throughout the history of the game. For a
Hmm.
while, Wizard existed. This was the second Anarch identity to ever come out. And when Wizard came out, Wizard was the punchline. Why would you
Yeah,
play
no
Wizard?
one. Why would you ever play
No,
him? They're
no.
like assets were not the way to win games from the corp side. So Wizard was basically a dud,
Yes.
especially because he was compared to the other Anarch who was available, who was Noise,
No,
who
this is
was
fun.
so fun. Yeah, Noise was fun, but also like such an uninteractive, powerful card
Yeah, no,
on
this
his
is
own.
great. Wizard came out. Wizard didn't do it. Reina came out. Reina didn't really do it, but Wizard was a joke. And then at some
Hmm.
point, Wizard was the most present ID for about 2-3 years, maybe, because we
Yeah.
got to a world where assets made up the majority of the meta and the majority of the deck, and you could
Hmm.
consistently get 3 free credits a turn for an ID ability, which is bonkers,
Yeah. If you had to
bonkers.
be trashing every single turn, then you were effectively getting 3 credits every turn.
And so I
That's
can't
just the way it was.
say, because mind you, a lot of these sets were designed sooner than they released, but I do think
Mhm.
we ended up seeing inflation where stats on certain cards, the trash costs went up because there were more tools around to deal with
Mhm.
it. I don't think Jinja and Wizard ever overlapped in a really meaningful way. I think he might have rotated out by
Maybe
then.
not. He might have rotated. Yeah.
Yeah. But we saw a lot of
But
cards that
I
had
see what you
just
mean.
like
Like
Mumbet
cards
Virtual
were
Tour. Like we
cards
had,
were built like, does this tax wizard or does this not tax wizard? And that was
yes.
the dividing line. Moombed Virtual Tour was, yeah. Well,
Yeah, she's just
boy, I
saying
remember this
MVT.
card.
Yeah. Like this is
Yeah.
the sort of thing that existed back in the day, and this was a big thing for Wizard. What we are
Mhm.
seeing, if you look a bit at Rebellion Without Rehearsals, my guess is we're seeing more and more cards actually have like 2 trash cost that are incredibly reasonable.
Yep.
I made a joke in the last one of the last videos that went up, or 2 videos ago, about how, as a rule of thumb, if a card from Rebellion Without Rehearsal costs 2 credits to trash, you should probably trash it. And then some,
Yeah.
I forget the name of the person who responded, but they watched the channel obviously, and they said, "Oh, that's like 7 out of the 9 assets in the whole thing." It doesn't even include the upgrades, right? Like, I mean, every
Mhm.
card that costs 2 to trash, and some, I even think there's some operations that cost 2 to trash in Rebellion Without Rehearsal. But it looks like the trash costs are coming now down, which is
Mhm.
good in some ways, because I think the reason why Miss Bones is like 700 years better than Fencer Fueno is because having money to trash
Yeah.
now and to burst trash to control the board, that's how you lose the
Mhm.
assets often. You can't let them get
Yeah.
the first
Miss
asset.
Bones lets you
Yeah.
trash 4 things in one turn, whereas a Scrubber or a Fueno is like once a turn you get to save some money on a trash.
Yeah.
But Miss Bones is like clear an Amani Sinai, clear a whatever grid they have installed like at once, stuff like
Yep.
that.
Yeah, this is so much more important. And with Miss Bones going, I think that's fine because it looks like the power level of the must trash cards have gone down a bit. Folks in chat are talking about like all the ridiculous stuff, mind you, from the Mumbet cycle, right? So we had
Mhm.
like Jeeves Monobiroids, which is wage workers. Functionally, it cost 5 to
Oh my god,
trash.
it
And then on
costs
top of that,
5.
these decks were running a full suite of team sponsorships because you
Yes.
need to hit Alliance. This is 4 to trash, and they only res it for 1 when they need to res it. And then you had things like
Mhm.
Turtlebacks, which was also a 3 in a lot of
Mhm.
these decks that again was like functionally 1 to res, 4 to trash. And so many of the must trash cards that snowballed on the board were all 3+4 to trash,
Yep.
which is just buck wild. It's just
D-
buck wild.
yeah. Turtlebacks is another card that took a little while before it really became busted or really became frustrating because at
Yeah,
first, like we had NEH and then we had this, like, okay, I guess this
good.
can make it's a little bit worse than Pad Campaign. I guess that's fine, maybe. And then, like, yeah, with the Moonbat cycle, and then especially with the Flashpoint cycle, which really cranked up the asset spam game to 11, this became an immense economy card because it's gain one whenever you create a server, and you might be
Yep.
creating many servers per turn.
Yeah,
So,
Genetics Pavilion is 5. Yeah, it's 5-0 to res. It is a bit gross as well. Can I find it here? Yeah. Sadia is saying some other cards too. So some of these other cards I think are actually a bit more interesting, and not all of them are NSG cards. Some of them are FFG cards. So Ubiquitous Vig is a weird one
mm,
because it is functionally a pad campaign that takes a while to scale up. And if you're ever advancing Ubiquitous Vig, it takes a couple turns for it to actually be economically powerful. So 4 trash cost is very interesting on this card, if you ask me.
mhm.
Pad campaign also, it's like a really weird card. It's been around since 2012, the original FFG core set. And this card is not credit positive in like the way most operations are credit positive until like turn 5 or
Yeah,
turn 6. So
we
like,
played Pad Campaign because we had to,
yeah,
or we wanted to get Pad Factory into our decks influence free.
yeah. So this I don't mind. Vlad Grid is also interesting. Like all the high trash cost cards that are coming up in these suggestions, a lot of them are cards they have to invest more on top of, like Vlad Grid,
Mhm.
for instance. And so that seems a bit more reasonable.
Yeah,
Arella,
and
though,
also
is like very
the
much
corp is
FFG.
spending more on this
Yeah.
one as well, like more than usual. Arella is a big one that's 2-5, 2-5. Yeah.
Yeah. 2-5. But this is like, I think, the sort of FFG numbers where like you really have to decide to trash it. I think like the
Mhm.
NSG high trash cost is like Tranquility Home Grid is, it's cool that it's this expensive because it is actually a decision you have to make. But
Mhm.
you almost always should be making the decision to trash Tranquility Home Grid. It is the
Yep.
best HB econ card in most HB lists.
Yeah. But it's funny to think that even cards like Pad Campaign are not going to be in the game any longer, and that is like such an essential
Yeah,
part of like.
that's
I mean,
weird.
like way back in the day, it was like an essential part of Corp Econ. Like, okay, is this the kind of deck where I can run a Pad Campaign? Usually, kind of yeah, because games went for like 20 turns, so you would make money off it.
What do you think is the most expensive trash cost card from NSG?
Oh, it must be that Vault from Wayland.
Oh, sorry, from NSG.
Oh, from NSG?
Besides Borehole?
I mean, Borehole is 6, right?
Might be. Yeah, it might be actually Borehole is the most expensive trash cost that
Hmm.
NSG's ever put out. And it's 6, but functionally with bad publicity, it's like kind of 5.
Yeah.
When he's pad campaign, when you have refuge campaign, Jeff's stream last Tuesday was really fun. He's playing refuge campaign, not believing in it, and it was not very good, but he had a really
Yeah,
good
of course.
It good. There
Yeah.
clearly feels like
Th-
it wouldn't be Florida trash if it were designed today. I agree. It probably wouldn't be Florida trash.
mhm.
But it is kind of
It,
interesting.
I think it like you could either raise the res or lower the trash on that. Like I think
Raising
that's
the
the way to go.
res, I don't know. I like it to be cheap. I think there's some
Mhm,
problems right now with HB that almost all of its tools are too cheap that it's hard to interact with. Like you can't keep
mhm,
HB down. I am one who I think I've heard this from other folks too, that like if seamless launch
mhm.
costs at least 2 credits, let alone
Yep.
sometimes 3 credits, it would be I think you'd have much more play patterns to keep HB down, which kind of seems
I
fun.
agree. I think seamless launch could still see play at 3 credits. At one, it like
Yeah.
but I'm kind of happy to live in the seamless launch world a little bit because like
It's
it
not the
did
worst
suddenly make
world.
it's not the worst world. Like it made 4-2s and never advance like pretty viable, which kind of changed the corp landscape a little bit in a way
Yeah.
that I don't hate. So I wouldn't
It's
want to make I wouldn't want to like nerf a seamless launch but 2.0 like out of existence
no.
because I think it's still useful. But
I
yeah,
like cards that incentivize you to score out. I think that's better that those are in the game than not. Scoring out is the fun part of the game, and then you care about your agendas and you're putting things in remote servers. I just think overall, like the fact that I can diversion HB deck down to 1 credit and they can probably still seamless and agenda out, go credit, seamless advance, like that to me. I wish there was a little, just slightly a bit more window that you could force them to be uncomfortable resing ice. Just a bit
hmm
more, just slightly more.
yep.
Xavius is asking, are tools like Rashida actually good for the game? Neutral seemingly most includes that are also above power curve. Similarly, one influence cards that give access to core click compression. Yeah, this is a question that's come up a lot. I know I've said my thought on this many, many times. I'm a big Rashida fan. I think it is one of the
hmm
biggest differences between startup and standard is Rashida exists.
Yep.
Between standard this year and standard next year, we'll see if there's Rashida replacements. The core,
Rashida's one of the reasons that standard feels so much faster than startup
yes,
because
yes.
it just accelerates the core game plan so quickly.
Rashida is interesting because it's a card that goes in a remote server that's accessible to everyone that isn't an agenda. And I think it's important in the game that there's things that go in a remote server that are equally important
Mhm.
as agendas that aren't agendas. I think that's really, really important.
Yep.
I think Rashida also just gives you a full hand of cards and gives you more credits so that you don't have
hmm
to spend a lot of time spending the basic actions to draw, to credit. And it allows you to play more of your cards and it pushes the game forward in a way that's generally exciting. Starting your turn with like
Yeah.
9 cards in hand after Rashida, you start making plays, not
hmm
doing what you have to do with the limited options. And I
Yeah,
think that is kind of fun.
you're getting to the point where you're playing the game sooner rather than the setup. Like it's how I think about like some MOBAs are like the first 15 minutes are the same every single time, and then you start actually playing
Yeah.
a game where you're trying to beat your opponent. Rashida helps you get past that first like slow period. And I kind of I like how ubiquitous Rashida is as well because then like everyone knows the play pattern of Rashida and
Hmm.
it is a card that can be countered because it's super cheap to trash. It's vulnerable in R&D. You kind of know what it looks like on the table, which means then it's part of the mental landscape. It's part of the ecosystem of Netrunner, which means then you can like start doing mind games with it or stuff like that. It's just a
Yeah.
thing people know exists, and I
It
like that.
it also is like as one of the most powerful cards on the table, it has a huge impact on the power of cards like Ablative Barrier and
Yep.
Drafter and other HB cards I'm going to name. But like, it's
hmm
very, very cool that there's a card like this that's accessible. If Rashida was only in one faction and or cost 1 influence, I think people would actually be more salty about it because then it seems like, oh, Jinteki has Rashida in faction, so what's
Yeah,
with that? Like, people
we've
don't
already
like
got
that.
that once, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to do that too many more times. Yes, Rashida is the laning phase.
Yeah.
Made
Oh man, the
fast. Yeah.
laning face and
Mhm.
deadlock is actually really fun. Spin Doctor, on the other hand, is another card that comes up as a ubiquitous one of. I think it is. I think a lot of
Mhm.
players, or not a lot of players, there's a subsection of like really high skilled players that are actually challenging it and saying, I'm playing 2 Spin Doctors in this deck or no Spin Doctors in this deck. And I think
Mhm.
Spin Doctor for 1 influence feels like we've had this problem forever. Jackson Howard was 3 influence. So like when Nearth Hub was the new deck that was good, it functionally had 20 influence compared to the rest of the meta, which, yeah, that was a problem. That's obviously a problem. And I think it's up to the game to actually have a lot more small influence cards that are interesting and powerful that make you make decisions on how you spend your influence.
Hmm.
I like Spin Doctor because it's one of the most creative cards. It gives you a lot of player expression. It gives you a lot of ways to play your opponent. It's a card that goes in a remote server that's not an agenda. Those are generally pretty exciting. Spin Doctor does so much for the game. It's also a really great design. That is a recursion card that
Mhm.
it doesn't slow down the game, like it accelerates the game. There's like
Yep.
17 different ways to misuse and use a Spin Doctor on any given turn, and I just kind of adore that.
Yeah, you're never making like a profit on recursion with Spin Doctor, really, or you're never like prolonging the the corp deck timer with
Yeah.
it.
I like Spindo
Um,
better than Jackson. Yeah, by a mile, Spin Doctor is more interesting than Jackson.
hmm.
So he is asking, would corporate
uh,
hospitality be a direct Rashida replacement? No, far from it. It's a
no, corporate hospitality doesn't let you make plays in the same turn. It takes
no.
up 2/3 of your turn. Like I see what you mean. Like draws cards, it gains credits, but I think it's a very different purpose. I think corporate hospitality is
It's just a
more
blue level
about
clearance.
yeah, exactly,
It's just
and
a blue
maybe
level
more about the
clearance.
recursion than anything else.
Yeah, no, it's not a recursion card. The HB card that makes me think the most of the Rashida is Fast Break. And Fast
Hmm.
Break sees literally no play unless you build a deck around it. But it's the same sort of thing where it's like, and Fast Break is a setup card, but Fast Break makes these game enders where it's like, oh, the corporation, I'm in a good spot. Then in one click, they have like a ridiculous board. Like Fast Break is
Hmm.
much more wild than Rashida because you can't interact with it. And it does all these installs, let alone draws, let alone give you the credits back. But these are the sort of cards that are close to Rashida. Technically, the Rashida is like predictive planogram when they have a tag, which is a cool place for tag punishment to be in. Like, oh shit, they got a free Rashida. Like that's kind of cool.
Hmm.
I don't know. The non-NBN versions of Spin just haven't measured up. Power guys, how's it going? Firstly, I think the non-NBN versions of Spin Doctor do the worst things for the game, right? Like all of the non-NBN and
The
even the
drudge
NBN
work.
ones, like Drudge Work, Attitude Adjustment,
Mhm,
all of these cards are groan-inducing when they go off,
mhm,
where you understand the corporation is not accelerating the game. They're just saying, I'm going to play hide the agendas. Like that is the
mm,
worst part about it. So things like Drudge Work that just say, like, firstly, you have to consider trashing this, which costs you more money than them. They have more charges on them. They're just shuffling big agendas back in R&D, which is full
mhm,
random what you're hitting. Like all the other ways that we've seen to deal with agenda flood, which is going to inherently be part of the game. Spin Doctor is like the coolest, most interesting, most fair feeling way that feels good to both sides of the table. I love it. Sprint is fine. I don't even think sprint is fine. Like I'm playing sprint and started because you have to, but also when my opponent is like doing nothing and they sprint and they probably put away 2 agendas, literally you can't tell what they're doing. It also to me feels really bad. It's just like, oh, you played a card that probably fixed HQ. I don't know if it did. The board didn't change. The game didn't fundamentally change. It's also kind of sleepy. Like I don't like this. I don't really. I wish that the cards were all public information, something like that.
yeah.
Sleepy, super sleepy. Blue level memories. Moonpool, Moonpool people don't often use like that. It's also incredibly expensive. It requires a setup, but mostly people use Moonpool to fast advance or to like
Yeah, yeah.
flatline people when they run into a trap that suddenly has more advancements.
I
But this card is
I
over
think
designed.
Gatekeeper can
Yeah.
be interpreted as like a kind of Jackson
Yep.
replacement from FFG at the time.
Gatekeeper sick.
Uh, Gatekeeper's sick. Like it's sick as a piece of ice, and it's sick as a card that kind of does the recursion thing, the agenda flood rescue thing in its own way.
Yeah.
And it doesn't like and yeah, it draws you cards first, and then you actually no, it's a draw up to 3. So yeah, never mind. I don't know.
This is one of the
But
most
I
interesting ice that FFG has ever put out. This card is
gate
a bit over
yeah,
curve, but it's just so cool.
Gatekeeper is definitely one of the best pieces of ice there's ever been. I love Gatekeeper so much.
Daria, I hear you might be in our part of the town in the near future. This is Distract the Masses. Daria saying this is again the same sort of thing that I don't like, where they just shuffle stuff back. They give you
Mm,
2 credits for it, but it's just like I'm gonna fix my hand and not advance the
mhm.
game. Gatekeeper's probably one of the best dice. It has like it has downsides. Like that's my favorite thing about Gatekeeper. It
Yeah,
has absurd strengths, but it also has some legitimate downsides to
that's
it,
right. It
and I
like
love that design.
it's never a snap res when so much other FFG ice was. Like this is like there's a real art to when you res Gatekeeper, which I think is great. It's the best thing about it.
Cool card. Okay, Patrick, none of this stuff is the startup though, besides Sprint.
Oh no.
So I got a couple startup decks that I built off camera to go into it. So we're
Okay.
gonna play some startup today. Is there something
Mhm,
specifically you want to try or you want to build? Because building startup doesn't take that long inherently because there's not that many cards. It's obviously that's one of the
mhm,
appeals. It's an easier format to deck build. And I think also showing off how easy deck building is live on camera, so you can see how people who might be playing the game for
mhm.
a while do it could be good. But what do you
So
want to do?
you know it's funny, like despite the interesting changes to Corp, that just makes me more excited to play against Corp. So I'm interested in trying runners
Cool.
first.
Okay.
I'm curious to see how Corps are being built for the like the 40 the 40 card Corp decks. But I do want to try like maybe an Arissana. Maybe I should have named whatever was at the top of your list there. Like I want to try like a Lou, maybe.
Hold on 1 second. I just want to bring this up
Okay.
because this is an interesting point I did want to bring up. This was shot. This came up as a lower third in one of the games from the U.S. East Coast Nationals, and this is technically as written, but I don't know if any judge would enforce this. say that a gatekeeper, like I've done this,
Mhm.
mind you, this is a rule that I like to teach people because it can be important, and this is how you like try and win off of R&D. If this subroutine fires, drop to 3 cards, reveal up to 3 agendas, then shuffle those agendas into R&D. If you reveal no agendas, do you shuffle?
Like we're talking about like what is zero a quantity
Yeah,
uh, that can be referred to with those?
yeah.
I don't know. I
Seems
don't
like
know.
you should. The ruling is that
Also,
you're actually meant to shuffle your deck.
mhm,
Which, if you ask me, if the deck is not ordered, like there's been no daily business show or anything, I would
mhm,
assume don't do that. A shuffled deck and a non-shuffled deck are equally shuffled.
hmm,
Obviously, if there's been daily business shows and things on the bottom and you know the order, you have to shuffle. But apparently, every time the gatekeeper resolves, even if you don't shuffle, you have to shuffle. Now, why I know
mhm,
part of this is that I will often in the late game, if I'm trying to win off of R&D, and this is on R&D, I'll run through it and let this first subroutine fire because it forces a
hmm,
shuffle. So no matter what, you're going to see new cards as much as they can also be drawing. Sometimes they want to
mhm,
draw 0. But apparently, no matter what happens if the subroutine fires, they have to shuffle their deck. And it is something that I don't know at the top table at Worlds whether they'll force someone to do that if their deck doesn't have any ordering in it.
hmm.
Super critical reason not to put Gatekeeper on R&D. Yes, Gatekeeper on R&D can get you. A lot of people don't realize that and fall into the trap. But also, there's not that many board states where you can capitalize on it. But I've capitalized on it.
Yeah. It, like so I am someone who cares about flavor text. I think I have never like why does the flavor text in Gatekeeper feel so new to me? I feel like this is the first time I'm actually reading it. Basically,
I don't like
it's
it.
flavor. I
It's
don't
not
hate
my
it.
favorite.
I don't hate it. I'm not going to say I like it. I'm not going to say I dislike it. It's it's a joke.
Lucas is saying shortcutting is explicitly allowed in the OP rules, so if there isn't any known info, you don't have to. Yeah, I imagine that
Mhm.
that is a legal shortcut that you're not forced to shuffle there, unless again ordering of the deck is known. There's definitely instances I've seen in tournaments that could have made a difference if it had been used. Yes, I think a lot of people don't know that interaction. Like that is a niche interaction that a lot of folks don't realize that you can force the shuffle. There's an issue where shortcutting depends on accuracy and recalling the known info.
Mm.
Oh, 100%. But like most HB decks don't order their deck. Like I imagine in PD that will matter 0 out of 0 times. Can't even imagine a card that would make that matter when you're playing PD. Okay, Patrick, sorry. Lost the plot there a bit. I built 2 startup decks off camera. I think
Whoa.
some of them are interesting.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, Otherwise, is there something you want to build? You said you wanted to build Runner?
Yeah, I'm looking at this at a Ken deck though. Like I think Ken feels
No,
pretty good right now.
we played these last week.
Oh,
It would only be
I'm so
these 2.
sorry.
Yeah.
I
Or
don't watch this
on Tuesday.
stream.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about Ari.
Okay, so you want to play the good startup decks.
Yeah, yeah, of course I want to play the good startup decks, but like
Okay.
I want to play a shaper without creative commission,
Oh,
you
got it.
know?
Because of the title.
Because of the title.
NVN doesn't exist in
Yeah.
startup? No, NVN seems good in startup. Seems fine.
Because I think it will require a different what's the word? Strategy.
Ah, yes, the strategy. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's 4 shapers. They're behind my head, so it doesn't make for great viewing. Let us move our heads. It's also behind your head. You're taking responsibility for this. We have Arissana, who Arissana has all Arissana support cards in the format
Mhm.
besides, I think, Cuban, environmental testing, and Ika. So those are probably the
Oh,
big cards you're missing.
even environmental damn it.
Yeah, I know.
Damn
Yeah.
it.
Startup sometimes gets you like that. We're like, oh, I'll just play
Yeah.
this. Oh, you can't. That's an Ashes card. You're like, I thought that Daily
Mhm.
Castles
Mhm.
on System Gateway or System Update. We have Isla, which to me just seems like a vestigial existence and System Update. Doesn't seem very exciting.
Yeah, we've got to remove her like a kidney that we love.
Yeah.
No, wait, you need your kidneys. I like an appendix.
We have Kit, and I've been told that you can just play Lobi Somu and Kit and just put it on the
And
table because there's no
you
spark.
just pay the money
You
for it,
just
right? Like that's
pay
all you do.
money. Yeah. You
And
just
that's kind
pay
of fine
money.
because it's already super good in kits. So.
And it's a slower enough format. You can just get
Mhm.
8 credits. And then they have
Yep.
Dao, and Dao, mind you, Hermes. I keep forgetting Hermes is in the format because Hermes came
Mm.
out last year. But yeah, the Hermes exists in Dao. So you played Hermes Dao or any sort of Dao.
Mm.
Now, if you ask me from a distance, and I think the big thing is that I'm going to come and revisit this, probably not tonight because we probably don't have time for that, but I'll come back next Tuesday. And I kind of expressed what my thoughts were before exploring startup, and then we'll kind of express our thoughts after we've done a bit more testing. We haven't done that much testing, mind you. We played like maybe 3 hours of startup so far. My guess is that Shaper is cracked because Shaper or startup currently includes Rebellion without rehearsal. And so Shaper is going to be
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah, of course. Shaper has the best cards.
Yes. Island does things. In fact, Island's one of the most consistent decks at having enough money to deal with the punitive decks that were banned. I don't know if she still does
Hmm.
things. Extra big mulligan for Aesop's is very important. Oh, I guess having a big mulligan just to find your like
Yeah, true.
T100 memory diamond in the format is something.
Hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna go collection. We're gonna go startup. We're gonna go build.
Yep.
We're gonna go down here. We're gonna hit startup ban list 2409. Ignore active data. Active date.
Now hang on. The card suggestions
Yeah,
supersedes the ban list, right?
it seems like if we add this, it'll flag it. Yeah, there'll be an exclamation mark.
No.
Yeah, so it doesn't know. The suggestions are just suggestions. Now it knows. It'll be add 0 copies.
Interesting.
So what I actually feel like it's okay to do is when you're doing
Mhm.
startup is I go and I open literally every single faction because it's not even that overwhelming.
It's not overwhelming, right?
It's not
Yeah.
overwhelming. I don't think.
Just show me all the events, like in
Yeah.
the Matrix when we have the rows and rows of guns at us.
So Arissana for no credits. Just paid ability speed, very funny formatting. Install a program from your grip. Only uses ability once per turn during a run. If the run ends, if it's not a Trojan, it gets destroyed. So you can use that to install programs. I imagine it's going to be a bit more niche in this format. I don't think we really want to be installing chameleons and letting them disappear. But the format doesn't have like Oiler and Gauss and stuff like that. So we're probably going to be installing some Trojans. And there's some weird Trojans in this format. There's some really strange Trojans that you can play with.
Very much so.
So let's start with the cards that we know we're going to play. So Burner.
Okay. Burner 3 of? 2 of?
Probably 2. We'll see if we want to add
Okay.
3. Card draw, mind you, Patrick. I need to catch you up on startup. There's like 3 card draw cards in startup, and they're all shaper cards. Like there's no card draw in all of startup.
Okay, so Diesel, VR-cation, and
It's a bit more than 3, but it's not great. It's like Biobands, it's Diesel, VR-cation, technically Proco. Anarch has like amanuensis and like Solidarity Badge.
Oh
like
yeah,
nothing
true.
consistent.
Solidarity Badge I can see working a little bit.
You need to be playing Lou and Imp,
yeah.
And then Criminal has literally nothing, but you do have Earthrise, and people are also playing
No.
Plasticity.
What about Chrysopian skimming?
I don't cantrips. Yeah. Anyways, Dirty Laundry, good. We need to be running with Arissana. I like Dirty Laundry and Standard Arissana. Let's assume that's the same. We can find out how much influence we have to spend on weird stuff, like Jailbreak. Joyride technically is a draw card. We could entertain one of these and earmark it in the deck list and cut it eventually once we get 45 cards.
Yeah, that's the way.
Yeah.
Just gonna keep going until we see Trick Shot.
Overclock is good because we can install things, so we can ensure that we use the credits.
It does work well with Arissana, so she can make good use of it.
Jailbreak's right there. I wonder if we're not playing Jailbreak. We might not be playing Jailbreak, but it is, again, just like a cantrip. It's not bad, but it's not like I put it in the deck for card draw. But not bad. One of my least favorite things about Startup, Anarch, is that Strike Fund exists, but not Steelskin.
Yeah.
And like all these cards are balanced around the existence of both, right? Like Price, like Carnivore, like Audrey, and it just doesn't have the better card for the deck. It's getting me. Spree. This is a deck that actually could consider Spree if you build the deck in a certain way. Yeah.
Like a one of Spree in maybe. But like, yeah, I guess it depends what kind of like heavy Trojans we're doing.
Like if we're heavy Slap Vandal, if we're heavy Fizera, heavy Slap Vandal, yeah, that sort of stuff works better. Botulus.
Living Euro.
But if we're just playing like good breakers and then using Arissana for a bit of tempo, I don't think we need Spree. A Window of Opportunity is probably not bad.
Yeah, I like Window of Opportunity.
Let's earmark 1.
Get a little Leonard Cohen in here.
Trick Shot?
Yeah. How about 2?
Okay.
Easy 2.
And I think we can stay there. Alex, how's it going? Spree with Botulus? Yes. I'm excited to see. You're going to Worlds, right? I'm excited to see what you play. Overclock does not work well with the RA and Startup because there's no SMC, so you don't have a good way to actually spend those credits a lot of the time. Well, our breakers, I'm hoping? You're right, though. You can't just like grab. Well, you can muse something, can't you?
Yeah, and you'll be pulling stuff back to hand. Like you'll be able to get some free stuff.
Okay. Hardware. Another problem with Startup that I've discovered is Anarchs don't have consoles. So all the good consoles are Criminal and Shaper. And so for console choices, we have Pantograph, but I'm assuming we're just going to play 3 of Lilypad because draw is at a premium in the format, and Lilypad is generally a 3 of in Startup anyways, or in Standard anyways. Okay. Other stuff that we can play. DZMZ. I don't know if we have to play a lot of these. We technically don't have environmental testing, so installing.
Do we need the we already have 6MU. Like I don't think we need that.
I don't know. I'll earmark 1. We might not need it.
Yeah, but if we're going with like the Vernissage and we've already got the overclocks, like I'm not sure if we need to be getting a discount on programs necessarily.
It's still good.
I'm sure it's so good.
It also is like easier to access because like SMC often F's up DZM sets. I But also with SMC, you can't fire it on the corp turn, which is kind of annoying. But we'll earmark one.
Yeah,
I think
well, we're not going to be playing SMC anyway.
no, exactly. I think Docklins Pass is an option. It's a fine spend of 2 influence, whatever, we'll consider it. Cataloger is definitely an option. There's not that many 3-pointers in the format anymore, so it's less effective. What else do we want here? Like, not much.
So we don't need the memory diamond anymore. Like,
no,
is that just dead completely?
It's harder
like the punitive decks are dead completely.
So my guess is that there's still damage decks that want to flatline you. Like Neurospike PE is probably still an issue. I'm hoping that okay. The other issue too is like we have less card draw because we don't have Stone Ship, but also we don't have Simul Chip or SMC, so we can't trigger Lily Pad on the corpse turn. So we actually lose a bit of on-demand draw. My guess is that punitive decks might still exist, but they're much less consistent because they still have to run 2-pointers. So if you steal a 2-pointer, there's only 1 punitive window, and then we might just have a lot of money because we're playing Shaper.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure.
It's a thing that we'll learn together. Is Mad Dash in the format? No, Mad Dash is an old NSG card. I don't think it's
not even that old. It's still in standard, right? Oh no, wait, is it? Was it? In
it is,
points?
But I think it's a red sand card.
Oh, it's a red sands. Yeah, so it's rotating soon, but it's still in standard.
Yeah, but in terms of old cards in the format.
Yeah, but also like since there are fewer 3-point only decks, like I think its use is minimal now in startup anyway.
You can't play it in startup.
Theoretical use. Yeah, but like if you could, like try to think about hypotheticals.
Yeah, there's less 3-pointers. You're right, Patrick. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's great. Man.
Okay.
I think people are right. Like Lucille's saying, like, yeah, DZM turns Coalescence into Sure Gamble. I still suspect that we'll have a lot of econ, but yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to play Coalescence because we're probably going to play Pawn Shop as well. The question is, what is the Breaker Suite? And I'll be honest, from my testing so far, I've kind of come to the conclusion, unless you're doing something really weird with Trojans, I think there's one Breaker Suite in the format that's better than all other Breaker Suites. And it's up to Corpse to punish you, and I don't know if they can. And that is Buzzsaw, Cleaver, Leech.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Like, I honestly don't know if anything else is worth it. All these cards are so low influence, and we want to be running a lot of times anyways because we're playing Arissana, so we want to be installing stuff clicklessly. Like, you can even install a Coalescence. Like, who cares if it gets deleted unless you're playing Pawn Shop, which we are. But I'm pretty sure just playing all of the, like, de facto stuff is fine. I don't know. Otherwise, the other thing that we can try is like admin Leech is probably fine. I don't think there's a lot of people playing anti-AI Ice. There's no Mavirus, no Daria. They have to purge. And I've been told that corporations, the game is slow enough that the corporation can actually just purge. But I think Arissana is probably one of the runners that has the hardest time getting locked out, where that even if we get purged, we can probably break in somewhere to get the 1 or 2 Leech counters. But yeah, Admin Leech, like if you've ever played this is an enduring archetype, finalist at Worlds 2013, as soon as, if I'm not mistaken. But the idea is you put an admin at 0, admin at 2, admin at 4, and then whatever Leech counters you have around fixes whatever breakpoints that you don't hit. Very good.
Yeah, I love an Atman.
Are there any AI breakers besides Atman and Startup? There's Atman and then there's Audrey. And both of those actually like probably have reasonable archetypes backing them. I think Atman is might be tier 1 in right decks. I don't think I've yet to test Audrey.
And technically Mayfly.
Yeah, technically Mayfly. But there's not that many. That's true. Yeah, Mayfly. Okay, so do you want to just try the Fixie breakers and not be very interesting?
Yeah.
All right, I just generally do 2 of each. I don't know, 2 Buzzsaw, 2 Cleaver. These cards cost too little influence. Then we'll play 2 or 3 Leech.
But we do have Muse in format. Do we need to?
Yeah, but you don't want to use Muse to install your breakers because then your MU gets goofed up.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, Slap Vandal is also an AI. I forget about that. Yeah, Slap Vandal as well.
Oh, true.
Yeah, that's cool.
2 Slap Vandals?
Yeah, sure. Looks like we got most of a breaker suite, so now we can spend our influence doing largely whatever we want. We need a win condition, and that is one of the other, like, you know, kind of artifacts of a format like this is there's not that many win conditions. There just isn't. Conduit, if you ask me, is probably one of the stronger ones.
Yeah, and we do have Cataloger. We do have
yeah, we'll probably cut the catalog.
Yeah. Okay.
Fazarium. Okay, so other stuff. There's a lot of options here that we can look at. Mind you, if we don't want to play Buzzsaw, we can play Unity, but I'm pretty sure Buzzsaw breaks. There's only like 1 6-strength code gate in the format, 1 or 2. It's like Valen Chow and Piranhas. I haven't seen those see play, and all the other stuff seems fine. I think we definitely want to be playing at least 1 copy, if not multiple, of Fazarium Entangler for obvious reasons. This card is just
Yep.
very, very good. And then we have 3 muses for recursion forever, and there's Noma Virus, so you'll never get it. Tollbooth exists, yeah, but then you just Physarum it, and or like you just use 2, like if they spend 8 creds resing a Tollbooth, you either Slap Vandal it, you either Physarum it, or you just get 2 leech counters. So does a Teeny. Yeah, a Teeny is like maybe the worst case in the whole format, but you'll be fine. You just Physarum it. 3 Muse, it's 3 Physarums. I don't know what else we need to play. Anything
Do we want
play?
like 1 echelon as sentry backup or?
Oh, we have no killer. Yeah, I'd play 2 echelon. I forgot we have no killer. We're at 43 cards. We're gonna have to cut something for sure. This actually might be too much. You're right. We can maybe play
And we have no resources also.
Oh, we haven't got there
Like
yet.
are we not? Oh, okay, sorry.
No, we're not gonna get there. So Ace off Pawn Shop is okay. It is probably good. The idea is that every time that we install with a DZ a cheap like Coalescence, it makes money.
Yeah, Muse and Coalescence is a pretty good fuel for that fire.
No Living Mural. So Umbrella and Living Mural, if I'm not mistaken, Lucille, she was playing these on Boss Stream on Monday, I want to say. And they seem okay. The problem is, I'm convinced Corpse can just trash their ice, and you don't have enough recursion to rebuild the Living Mural. That's my, like, okay, if you put the Living Mural on the Archer, that's the best case. But if you put the Living Mural on anything that they trash, like, you got to rebuild the whole farm. I don't know. Maybe you could play 1 echelon, 1 Living Mural to see how it works, but it's still kind of clumsy.
But you can put it on the most expensive piece of ice at least, and then it makes them feel bad.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Let's play 2 Aesops to start. I'm not sure.
Yep.
Oh, Ashen. Yeah, I guess we could play Ashen. Oh man, the format has Ashen. I'm not convinced we'll draw through our whole deck. Earthrise Hotel. Actually, Earthrise Hotel saw some unironic play in standard when it came to Arissana. We honestly look how little card draw we have. I don't know actually what card draw we'd be playing if we've been playing in standard. Nuka we'd be playing.
We do have some card draw. We're not totally starved.
It's just Lily Pad and Diesel, man. It's not a lot of card draw. I guess yeah, we don't even have Baya in here.
That feels like an okay amount of card. Like once we've got the Lily Pad out, we've got our card draw sorted, really.
You're hoping we get it out immediately.
Yeah, exactly. And things always work out on the Metropole Grid for the Metropole boys.
See, Umbrella's a card draw. Yeah, but the card draw for the corporation
Umbrella is card draw, yeah.
Yeah,
but who cares? You're playing Fisk.
Telework is probably fine as a backup. I don't know if this is good enough. And like, I don't know what else I want to play. Oh, we have to play Urban. Urban is cracked.
Yep.
But actually, what Trojans? Wait, what Trojans are we reinstalling with Urban? You can't bounce Physarum. Is it just Slap Vandals? Is this good?
Like, we need more Trojans. Toss a Monkey Wrench in there. Toss a Living Mural in there.
Why? Just so we can reinstall it? Spending money?
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Trojan. Okay, so what do we have? So mind you, the big thing is Urban cannot bounce Virus Trojans. So like the bouncing, the Physarum is bouncing, the Botulus is what you expect. You can't do it. Dancing Saucy. Saucy's probably one of the better options for 1 influence.
Saucy's a maybe.
Yeah,
I
like Saucy.
too. Like that's
that seems
not too
fun.
bad.
Okay.
Slap Handle, Monkey. I'm gonna keep saying Monkey Wrench until we put Monkey Wrench in there.
There's legitimately a chance that Monkey Wrench makes sense because we're on fixed strength breakers. Yeah. No Urban. I think Santa Urban's probably fine because otherwise, why are we playing Arissana? Peachashawn's good. Yeah, I thought we had a Peachashawn in here. If Conduit is our win condition, Peachashawn seems fine.
That's true. Like get a 5th run each turn, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to not put that. Just Aesop stuff. I think you're right. Like that's the problem. Is Urban Art Vernissage is going to compete with our Aesops. In theory, Urban Art Vernissage is soft card draw. That's a ridiculous way of looking at it, but it is less than an Aesops. I feel like these are going to contest each other. Egret could be okay. I think Egret is very annoying because it's only on a rezzed piece of ice. It's kind of expensive, and what it does at the end of the day, it is basically like a worse Slap Vandal. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I think it's regretful that we don't get to like keep it in the deck, but I understand where you're coming from.
Let's start cutting stuff. If we play Saucies, we should play more windows, right?
Yeah.
So how do we do that? We have to cut 5 cards still. Like I'm not convinced we have enough money. I'll cut the cataloger for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean we've already got a win con and conduit. That's fine.
Yeah, and trick shot. And burner. Like all the good cards are shaper cards.
Maybe it's true that we don't need all those overclocks. Like maybe we go down to 2.
Yeah.
Trick.
2 is fine. We don't need it in our opening hand. That's very good. We can
Yeah,
even go down to 1.
but yeah, probably. It's just like an extra
Yeah.
trick shot. Really, you don't have to cut 5 cards.
Because yeah, they would. It's not Hoshiko. I would honestly cut the Pichashaw.
I feel like it's so useful for that for a mega conduit turn, right?
I feel like this format is not as fast as standard, where you don't need to present that turn.
Hmm.
Like again, there's no more virus. What are they gonna do? Purge? Play business as usual? 1 slap. I kind of like the idea of like having slap, but I'm also not sure how fast we have to go. It is also notable that this format has magnet in it, and there's no way to make that not a problem for you besides urban art vernissage.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, do we go down to 1 urban art because we have so few
I'd
trojans?
rather
Rather kind
play
of
1
telework.
telework. Let's see
Hmm.
what the test draw looks like, okay? We're playing against PD.
Okay. Yeah.
This is
Let's
our
feel it.
opening.
Lily pad's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh.
Gamble lily pad cleaver. Like that
I
seems
don't want
fine.
to install 7 cards of stuff on turn 1.
All right. So gamble lily pad. So draw gamble lily pad. Right.
Draw, gamble, lily pad, run the remote server. They res. We have
Hmm.
a Zerum. It's not a barrier. There's no barriers in the format. We draw
Get a free card
Diesel.
draw.
Access their card. Fine. Next turn we start with
That
Diesel. Yeah, we're
that
cooking
feels
now.
like this feels like the start
This feels
of a good game.
this
Yeah.
feels fine. Okay, next hand. This feels
Hmm.
good. This looks good. This looks good, Pat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diesel. So we got a slap
Diesel.
bundle. Yeah. Dirty
Chug chug
laundry.
chug.
I would actually burn her if they don't do anything aggressive with HQ. We can dirty laundry, probably steal an agenda.
Hmm.
We'll install a slap bundle on their remote server, whatever. And then, like, that's the thing is I don't understand how we use this Aesops. It's probably just like the last coalescences we sell and like extra breakers. Maybe we want another DZ to make this make sense.
Well, it's the coalescences plus the muses. That's 6 cards right there. That's 18 credits. I think.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you can
Like
sell the
that's all. It's
muses.
already making quite a bit, and like we'll get a bit extra.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You've discovered a close and guarded secret to start out. We ban creative commission for reason. And it's like such a funny ban. Obviously, banning creative commission is a hilarious sentence, but it is like
Hmm.
this format needs a more holistic approach where it's like, oh, Shaper's cracked. We have to do something about it.
Yep. Honestly, like I'm really happy with that sort of bandwidth. Like it, obviously, seeing creative kitchen was like, what are they thinking over there? But like
It's so
it imme-
goofy.
it immediately makes sense, and it reflects how closely startup is being looked at and curated.
I think the 2 Saucies is the worst card in our deck.
Okay.
Unless we had more windows,
What
I
are we
think
gonna
2
do?
Saucies. I think we're going to play it and learn something.
Mm, okay, because we do have the urban art. Like it now, like I think that's gonna
Oh, you're
make
right.
it.
You're right. Oh, yeah. I'm in. I'm immediately
So,
back in. I'm back in. I'm back in. I'm back in.
okay. I don't even have to
No,
complain
no,
in
no.
any
Yeah,
points.
that
Okay,
makes
cool,
sense.
cool, 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 cool. Um, Obviously, I think for a lot of people who've been used to seeing me on stream, I have rotated my setup 180 degrees. I'm now facing my board games,
Yeah.
and I have recently become hashtag Calyx pilled. Uh, I think it looks great. It looks a lot better than the box throne setup I had before.
I think the
Ev-
box thrones don't look good. And I'm glad that we can finally talk about
yeah,
that because now we're talking about your
yeah,
apartment in a way that I know you've moved on from.
yeah, exactly. Like the box thrones they're boxed up, and I'm selling to someone on Facebook Marketplace, and I think they're going to go to a good home. They didn't look good. They were useful at doing the thing that they said they were going to do, which is like you can put your board games on top of one another and then just slide one out. You don't have to like lift up the game. But this looks so much better, and I can use it for books too. Like I need
Yeah.
like spillover for my bookshelf, and I can like put stuff here, like my RPGs are over here, stuff like that. It's gonna look nice.
Lucille, she very kindly shared me an Atea deck list. It might not be this one, but she is on tags as a thing that we have to
Hmm.
worry about. Like Phonetry is good in the format. It's hard to make that not the case. Also, I think there's 2 big snakes in this one.
Mm.
So that is 6 strength. So we can slap handle parts of it, but most people just take tags on it, which is going to be a problem. I don't like this hand.
I don't hate it.
What are we
Like we
going to
got,
do?
I mean, like we've got Diesel. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
That's the
you
good
got it what I'm
card is
saying.
Diesel,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good. You're right. We have one good card.
This deck will have a Tini in it.
Hmm.
Phonetry is a Seisenton startup. Yes. Which I'm fine with that. Oh, this is a much better hand. Burnering
Yep.
Atea that needs cards in hand. We need to deal with the Regulus as soon as possible because Atea, it's either Regolith or Charlotte. That's
Hmm.
the only way that she can make money easily. Tron, yeah, you got sniped
Yep.
really quickly. I'm sorry about that. Also, Z, -1 whoop, +2 biobands. I think that'd be reasonable. If we don't have enough card draw, we could definitely try that. It's also like soft tag tech, which the format definitely likes. Like, this is why you play Slap Vandal, right? Like, this is a Charlotte. We
Yeah,
have to deal with Charlotte.
we have to go to Charlotte. Let's go get it. Yeah, good cursor. I considered going 5x5. It just didn't. It almost fit my space. I thought about getting like another single that I'm gonna like put on top, just have like call it a 5x4.
Do we trash a Holloman from
Sure.
hand? I don't think so. I think we'd rather have the money to deal with this.
Yeah, because if we keep them low on money, then Hollow Man's not going to be that big a threat.
Yeah, I don't know how she's going to afford that. So here she has to res like a Tattoo Bola. Mind you, Tattoo Bola totally dunks on us. So
Yeah.
do we install a Cleaver or do we do a Slap Vandal and hope she doesn't have money? Oh, like another ice, excuse me.
Well, how badly do we want to keep this lap end? Because we've got muses. We're going to get it back. So
Yeah.
Slap Vandal is not dead forever, and this saves us a click and a bunch of money. So
Okay. I would consider pre-installing the Cleaver if I was a bit sharper.
hmm. It's funny that the cleaver requires you to be sharp.
Let it fire and run back after install. That's what I was thinking. Oh, like flip and then run back? Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. I think installing the Cleaver and going back might make sense. Slap burner, run back. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Wait a second. Wait, that's so much better.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah.
Indicate action.
Okay, so don't use it. Burner so they don't have any ice in HQ.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, that is so much funnier. I can't jack out. Why won't it let me jack out? Nah. Can you EDR? So much funnier.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so she had a
that's
Phonatria
nice.
and a Tattoo Bola. So those I'm going to put on the bottom of the deck. I don't want her to draw ice anytime soon.
Yeah, lucky her, she gets to keep the Hollow Man.
Yeah, bottom RD. Imagine we trash the Hollow Man too. And this denies the card draw here.
Yep.
So funny. So funny. You gonna swap? No swap? We don't obviously have to trash that.
Yeah. Bye, Charlotte. Good to see you.
Yeah, that was a Charlotte. Cool. This is never Nerdica. There's no way.
On turn one,
we'd still we would flatline. You're right. So unknown cards in HQ. The Tattoo Bola, like she needs to bait us into it so she can make money. It's just gonna be a thing. So now she probably has agendas in HQ. She's gonna struggle to afford the double install here. I think anything she puts into server one. I don't think there's unadvanced threats we have to worry about. Like cohort would probably be the worst case. So that's probably the Hollow Man, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm suspecting.
This hand sucks.
It could. I mean, just I don't know.
Oof. Oof. Where's our money?
All right, so it continues to suck. Okay, so maybe just install. I don't know. Where's our money? Draw one more time, and pray.
Just hope. Okay, that's better.
That's money.
Do we just install the lily pad and assume next turn we'll credit Coalescence?
Sure.
We can afford to go slow in this format. You can do stuff like this. This is okay in startup.
Ooh, yeah, all you need is the basic action card.
So Holloman's in here. Like it's true on standard, I feel so much pressure to make the most efficient turn because obviously things can go worse fast. Here she's on 5 credits, so she draws a Hansei or she draws a hedge fund. She's in an okay spot. We know where one Tattoo Bola is and one Phonatria, but she's about to shuffle. Yeah, maybe we should only play one of each breaker because this does stink. Oh.
It crashes.
Doesn't look like a Hollow Man. She's getting the double install.
Okay.
Mind you, Adrian's really good. Vovo's really good. But she'd have to res them now. So I think we're just going to ignore this, right?
Yeah, I'm okay with ignoring it. Let's just like do our own thing here.
Oh, it's just breakers. Just breakers. So we don't want to install the Muse. Do we want to force a res? Like what happens? Karun is annoying. We don't have money to trash.
I mean, Draw one.
Yeah, but then what's our last click?
Well, playing whatever we draw. It's going to
I,
be an amazing card.
I don't. Okay, I see how you plan your turn. It's just hope.
There we go. Now, okay, so now we've got cards we can discard.
We already did.
Yeah, now we've got 2.
So do we draw again, or we just click for credit? Like I think we might just click for credit because we just need to get our breakers down.
I kind of want to draw again.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. Aren't you glad?
No.
Now we got our econ set up.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Eh. So here, she can't cohort. We need to respect cohort. So she needs a face down in archives. I don't think she's on seamless. Over installing. The heck is that? Snare?
Are there going to be a lot of traps in here? Snare,
Snare,
Urticas?
Urtica, that's it. Oh, Regolith. Okay, she wins. We need to force her to protect that. Now, we have a Slap Vandal here, but we don't have a bounce card. Yeah. Yup. Again, Pinhole doesn't exist, so we have to actually run this.
Yeah, load-bearing Regolith indeed.
So the things that we worry about are
yeah.
Diviner, Karuna does damage, so I think we probably just ignore this, but this is all the money she needs.
Can we... Well, I mean, can we...
Oh yeah, we can Muse for
Muse Slap Vandal or Muse Coalescence?
I assume we can run and Muse for Slap Vandal because we have 4 credits, but we also need to have money to trash the Regolith. Like, I think we just don't have money to trash the Regolith. We will next turn. But maybe we can do... Because we're assuming Muse into Slap Vandal and to break is 4, and we need 3 to trash this.
Okay, so if we can't contest it, let's just do our own Regolith, which is Aesop's plus Muse into Coalescence.
I think we need the Muse to face check, but yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, let's just do it. It's just, this is a really valuable card for Fizarums in this matchup because like Atinis will show up. We'll do the Muse first. We'll go for the stack. We'll go for the Coalescence. We'll go for the draw. Oh, we just drew. I guess we did shuffle though. Upload Bear Aesops. Okay, that's interesting. But now we've committed our Muse. So I think we just continue to set up. We just do draw.
Yeah. All right, she's trying to come on.
Do we just overclock it?
Overclock is looking pretty good right now, actually.
She has to res 2 ice. We know where 2 Tatabolas are. If it's a diviner, we have mostly odds. Like the other option is we could install a breaker, like install Buzzsaw overclock it. Or Echelon overclock it.
Is Diviner seeing play in
There's not a lot of code gates. Like Jinteki has 2 code gates, I think. Functionary tags would be a problem. Functionary tags would be annoying, but we can always let it fire. Hey Matthew. Hey. I think we could just let this happen. Like we're gonna install our breaker suite soon.
Okay. Install Aesop's
credit. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Come on.
Lotus Field exists. Oh, you're right. Lotus Field's actually not bad. It's not bad in the format because we have to leech it usually. I guess we'd Slap Vandal it.
But can we leech Lotus Field?
Nope. But that's what I mean. That's why it's good.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so server 1's probably the Hollow Man. We should run HQ, I reckon. So the question is, do we commit to a Slap Vandal or should we just pre-install like the Echelon so we don't lose it to damage?
Wait, are you saying you want to run HQ? Like, can't we just run HQ?
Yes, but either we want to use Arissana, and if we hit a Fuji, we can lose our Buzzsaw, and then we have no Buzzsaw.
Okay, so install Buzzsaw, run HQ. That seems fine.
Yeah, that's okay. This also means that if we hit Diesel here, we can get Burner, we can get Dirty Laundry. Do you like that?
Or we get things we can't afford yet. Yeah, that
most of those we can't afford. Yeah, let's just run HQ for a single. If we hit a Fuji, it's a bit rough, but we have 3 points. She has money now.
What does this mean? Does that mean server 1 isn't Hollow Man, or she just has more than 1 Hollow Man?
She has like 3 Hollow Men.
Definitely 3? Okay, never mind.
I'll just trash it.
Sure.
Credit.
Well, let's credit and see what we get.
Yeah. I think there's another one in server 1's my guess. Oh, okay, great. We trashed the only Hollow Man. Second Spin Doctor, the first one will be shuffled back. I'm
and then
assuming that she's
probably
going to have to do
Hollow
install
Man.
advanced event. So all we have to do is make sure we're playing efficient enough to get all our breakers down, because we will have a really good breaker suite. We don't break a teeny well. We don't break Botu well eventually. So we're going to need to find our leech sooner than later. And musing for a leech is like kind of reasonable.
Hmm.
But we're getting
I
3
mean, I
credits
don't
every turn.
actually. I don't like that at all. Musing for a leech, no.
Why?
Well, I mean, like I think Muse is there to be Aesop's fodder. If we Muse for a leech, then it's just going to be on the table forever, taking up MU. Not that MU is a huge concern, but
That's
it
why
means.
it's called MUs.
Oh my god! Wow, narrative is brilliant. I never really think about it, but like it really is.
What if Snake? Snake is bad. We'll slap Vandal the 1 subroutine on Snake that actually hurts us, which is
Hmm.
trash a program. But like, I don't think we have to run much. If she double advances, we're a bit frightened. Or like in theory, she could score out the 5-2. Like this, we have to run.
Hmm.
We're assuming it's a Fuji or send a message, and I can't tell which is worse in the format for us. But can we not? Do you think we can install 2 breakers and just overclock it?
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with like
Let's start here.
echelon overclock and see what happens.
Actually, we should have dieseled first for, yeah, we should have dieseled first. Because we could have got sure gamble. We've seen no sure gambles. Yeah, that's totally wrong. We've seen 2 tattoo bolas. Botu is annoying. We can slap handle the end of the run on Botu. Do we do cleaver down to 0? Credit overclock? That seems bad.
No, I like. Why not just overclock this with what
Because
we have?
Botu ends the run, any barrier ends the run. Oh, there are 2 ETRs in Boto. Oh, right, Cror. Yeah, it's trash end the run then. Net damage then trash.
Okay, so I guess so. Cleaver kind of has to come down then because we can't solve any of those problems with Slap Handle on his own. That's really too bad.
Let's just install this.
And that server seems actually kind of impenetrable.
Let's ignore it.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
I just hope it's a Fuji. Okay, that's good.
Urban Art's good.
Yeah, Urban Art's good. Because obviously we can't keep the slap handle here. Just credit.
Yeah, credit.
We'll throw out the Urban Art.
And the Aesops. Oh, we don't have to.
We don't have to, yeah. Like a Fuji could be annoying if she hits the cleaver. Fuck. Yeah, maybe we should have pre-installed it. I think we could have seen that. Oh, we also lost the diesel. Oh no, we played the diesel. That's a bummer. Okay. All right, we've run out of gas.
Okay.
We don't have enough recursion. We probably actually are worried about damage in the long run. We don't know what server 1 is.
Is there a possibility that like is HQ worth checking? Do we
Yeah,
want to
100%.
draw until
I think we
get to,
installed DZMZ. We run HQ. We install the oh, we don't need DZ. We have Urban. We just run HQ, install the slap handle, draw.
Sure.
We just do this shtick over and over again.
Mhm.
Because now every time we run, we get a credit and a card.
Yeah, basically.
Great. A teeny, great. This is why we need our leech to make these runs make sense for us. But now we just want to play control. We just need to find our leech. We need to find our last cleaver. That's going to be the biggest issue. Unless we want to use a cleaver, which means we will need the DZ eventually. So do you want to go back? She probably has an agenda in hand.
Yeah. Going back seems fine. Let's do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we of course correct.
Does she have another agenda in hand? She might. We just know a teeny. We have a sure gamble for burst. We have nothing to pawn.
5 points in the top 14, 15 cards, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, the format's slower than most, right? Like she's only drawn 15 cards. She did have 2 spin doctors to filter. But I think we just need to get our cleaver because if we don't have our cleaver, we lose. That's a shame we got that 1 click too late. She should overinstall her Tattoo Bola, and I think we're happy with that. But that actually stops our engine. Like I think trashing ice is so important against Urban Art Vernissage.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to make sure that engine is not online.
Yeah.
Mindscaping.
The teeny is what? 4 strength or 5 strength? 5 strength, right? 6-5? 6-5, yeah. I do think that we probably have some sort of late game where we can just afford to do nothing. She's not pushing and she's not trashing this, which is great for us. I don't think we pawn anything here.
No, of course. We've got the cards we want.
So we still don't need DZ yet, but we could do DZ with the Urban, then install with Coalescence. Like, I think we're going to need the MU.
I think install DZ from the Urban and then install Coalescence. Like that
Yeah,
just
yeah, that's
that
what.
is yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, good. I'm glad we agree on this. I don't know why it's so contentious right now.
Because we might not need to do this click. Installing extra echelons actually can matter. The biggest sentry is 6. So ideally we want to get this to 4 strength, which means we should over-install at some point.
Over install is an install more than we need.
Yeah,
basically.
have an extra install. She iced up HQ, which is fine. We definitely want to run to get the slap vandal on something. We can get it on res dice like HQ. That's totally fine. So I think here we just run archives, see what she trashed.
Yeah.
Is that going to punish us?
What could possibly go wrong?
I don't know.
There's no nightmare archives.
Ooh.
We want to put that on a res piece of ice so that if she overinstalls to trash, it's worth a bit more to us.
I think you might be right about that, but I think she can get away with trashing the tattoo bullet, no problem. Maybe she wanted because she's seen one cleaver. It's hard. I think, a Cloud Eater. I think if she's iced this up, she wants ice there, and having to spend 2 ice on HQ in this matchup can't be good for her when she needs to build a remote server that's scoreable.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't draw a card. That was a really bad run.
I forgot we didn't draw a card because we already did Coalescence.
We already did it, yeah. I'll just draw. I'll take these.
I like that the overlay puts the slap vandal on your side of the board as well.
That's an option. It's a choice.
That's pretty cool.
It's the ghost installs. I think it's going to confuse some people, but it's a good system.
It'll never confuse
Wait, what
me.
the hell is this? Okay. Yeah, all right.
Huh. Okay.
Didn't see that coming. Yeah, I think not installing a cleaver cost us. We'll sell that. Because we only have 1 more cleaver and 2 more muse.
All right. But we have our conduit down.
Yeah, but she has 17 credits.
Yeah, so what? She can res like 1.5 snakes?
Okay, I'm in. Botu now is very importantly strength 6. But it's okay, we can slap vandal the separate team that hurts us. Let's run R&D. I'm not gonna hit the conduit button. Let's force her money, because if she has to protect R&D action, no, I'll null you. Might be a snake. Could be a snake. Feels snaky. Oh, House of Knives. Cool. Oh, that's really interesting interaction. Oh, it is a snake. Okay. Okay, so there goes all her money. So trash one installed runner card. So we have a couple options here. If we want to break it, it costs 9. We can afford that. Otherwise, we can slap vandal and break 1. We don't want to take the net damage, ideally. We don't want to do this, but R&D is now cooked. This game is now going to slow down incredibly. I don't hate spending 9 here. Is that terrible? No, I don't hate spending 9. We have to boost twice. So even if we install Slap Vandal, it doesn't make it cheaper. And then I don't think we take the tags because we know she's on, what's it called? You just need the Physarum now for 1 turn? Oh, yeah, this is how we get the Physarum. Yeah, shit. Imagine us installing Physarum there. That's that Physarum is going to be for a whole turn. That'll be pretty good. I like that. Okay, we'll pay 9. I think we take the damage and just hope it doesn't hit. None of these cards we need. Yeah, true. No, we don't need any of those. It's fine. You can still slap attack the Cloud effect. It's not our choice. It's the corpse choice. Trash one installed runner card. They fire at Crore, so she can pick. Oh, you're letting her. Oh, yeah. You have to, yeah. Okay. That's fine. We're left with some money. Appreciate it. Don't take another on the house. Ooh. Okay, we're on game point. That's fine. Whoo! Draw. Yeah, okay, we got the beans. Oh, okay, and those are good cards. Those are cards that'll help us win. Yep. That's fine. Yikes, indeed. Die to punitive? Unlikely. So now anytime she advances, like all we have to do now is not play Netrunner, and anytime she puts something in the remote server and advances it, we have to run it. Now, we'll have issues with Adrian, but she has money problems. She needs another Regolith here, but like unfortunately, we might have hit a boring game state. But yeah, we have 1 turn that we break Caladir for 3, so we probably just set up and do nothing for a minute. We have a barrier issue. Hanse is pretty good. She might throw out an agenda. But server 2 looks like a Regolith. Yeah. Are we going to save the Muse for the Physarum turn when we're ready to go? Yeah, 100%. All in on that? But we're going to lose it to House of Knives at some point. If she's on Seamless, like we can lose out of nowhere, and I don't know how to make that call in this format. I don't know how popular it is. Oh, Trick Shot's pretty good. I think someone
from NSG is trying to reach me on Discord. I'm like, come on, you can just send a message in chat.
So I guess we just install the leech here.
Yeah.
Draws a card, whatever. We should have done that sooner, honestly. Great.
Okay, good card.
Whatever. Let's see what happens. But now we've entered a really awkward spot where like she has to bait us in with Charlotte's. And it's up to us to be like, F it, we're gonna send it R&D.
Mm-hmm.
Atea's ability hasn't seemed to matter.
She's
Charlotte,
very
one
value
unseen, went back, so she haunts it in agenda.
Hmm.
What we have to watch out for is like, firstly, barriers. Like we have no cleaver. She has threat 6. I think you say cash next turn and then Condo Fizerum the turn after that. Yes. I'm worried that it won't win. But here we can just like credit up, do Muse for Fizerum.
We just have to touch one. Well, no, she has House of Knives, so we might not win if we touch agenda, but still.
I think she only has one House of Knives because she's playing 9 points of Fuji's. I think in the format, a lot of times if people play 3 3-pointers, they'll play 1 1-pointer just so they hit the even threshold. Yeah, this is where it gets scarier.
Mm-hmm.
Also, oh no, Holloman. We actually have to consider running because of Holloman. We can lose next turn to Holloman.
It's okay. So now that there are 2 cards installed, then we have to run.
Yeah.
Because Holloman 5/3.
Yeah,
wins,
we lose to
right?
that. I think we pawn the leech.
DZ?
Oh yeah, you're right. DZ. Hey Jai. I finished Phantom Liberty DLC and I am not okay. I'm sorry to hear you're not okay, man.
Oh, okay. I need to play more of Cyberpunk at all. I didn't finish the main quest, but I've been caught up in other things.
I think we just sure gamble run server 2.
Yeah.
1 and 4 House of Knives hits the Muse. 1 and 4. I think the biggest problem is we lost our cleaver. Action, we have priority here to Muse. Nope. So 1 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting a lily pad would be sick. Fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we weren't planning on that being part of the.
Oh, it's a Vovos. Oh,
okay.
You helped.
Thank you, House of Knives.
Break for 2. Now she's getting even more value.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that she can do here, which is cool, is she can separate the agenda from the Holloman.
Oh, that's true, because you can move the Holloman over when it's ready to fire.
Oh, there's the Boto. Okay.
There's the Boto.
So she has 1 card in hand, so we can force her to eat that card. So we can Slap Vandal, Muse for Slap Vandal to go into Boto, and then we could just run this back. You want to do that?
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Cool. We should do the Muse first, so we don't draw the Slap Vandal.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, doesn't matter.
Uh-oh.
They're in our heap. They're in our heap.
Oh yeah, we pulled from here. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh, saucies! I forgot about those. Those have been sick. Continue counter. So we'll break. Slap. Where's my ghost Slap Vandal? Break 1 subroutine. Do 2 net. Let him broken subroutine fire. So she has to give us her whole hand. Unless the last spin doctor's on the table. She can play us if she has that set up. But now she actually doesn't have enough money to Holloman out. In theory, we could let off our aggression. If she doesn't throw out this card, we run HQ, right?
Yeah, because it's telling something about what's in HQ, right?
Yeah,
it must.
I'm assuming so.
And at this point, like, it doesn't seem like that server is... Oh, no, wait, because the Hallman can slide over. I forgot about that.
Oh, I was thinking. Very cool.
Oh, but is that a bluff think?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
We'll be on 2 cards in hand, so we can run back for server 2. It costs us 3 credits. We've used Arissana. We can always set the leech next turn to bounce back up. Do you want to run server 2?
Here's something.
Yeah, here's something.
If just tossing something weird out there.
Yeah.
If we run back, we end up on 2 cards in hand, and then maybe it's a snare.
I don't think she's on snare.
Okay.
Right. I think if she did all that to trash a snare, like she deserves the win.
Agreed. That is the kind of shenanigans that we approve of.
Oh, she reses Vovo for cheaper. You're right. Vovo on top of I've never seen that. That's really cool because she's on threat 4.
Yeah, you risk the Hollow Man cheap. That's pretty
Yeah.
nice.
She actually, Phonotria helped her. I think she was hoping to trash something from hand, like obviously a Trojan, but
Mm.
I feel like you exactly want us to have 4. If we had 4, we probably would just let 1 damage fire.
Hmm.
Your trick shot, jack out, face down as bad as overclock. Yeah, if we run this and jack out, it's fine. On 5, we're not worried about them much. It might be actually better to have more cards to trash this stuff. That might have been a better line. Love the stream. I'll continue frantically playing. Cat's been working on some cool stuff. Hey, Cat.
How's it going?
So we actually don't have enough money even to trash Regolith. So this is bad. Oh, GG actually. No, it's good. It's very good.
There we
Turns
go.
out.
Yep.
Ooh, longevity. GG.
Cool.
Betrayed by oh no. What did you just discard? 6 unique accesses. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I feel like
that was kind of fun.
the R&D betrayal was kind of us being able to just snipe something from R&D.
We did good runs on HQ. Like I think our HQ runs
our HQ runs
made
were great,
sense. Yeah. The R&D run was just lucky. Like we saw
Mm-hmm.
1 card on R&D and it was a Fuji. Like that'll happen.
Mm.
There's only 3 3-pointers in the deck, so like getting to 7's hard if you don't touch the Fuji, that's for sure. She has to build a remote server that is taxing, and like Boto is annoying. Strixing Boto is really, really good. That's for sure.
Yep. Kisra has an interesting offer.
Want to scoop Parliament later if it's not too spooky? Yeah, the one that you shared, or do you have one that's even more since then?
Well, how spooky is it actually? Because I have
pretty spooky.
I have a weak heart.
That was a good idea from chat. Burner is just messed up dirty, especially when Corpse don't have a lot of draw. I do think Corpse need to consider playing more draw cards in startup.
Yeah, I'll you let me know when you're about to share the Hollow Man, and I'll just like close my eyes, go drink some warm milk.
The problem is not that Patrick can't close his eyes; it's that you just can't close all the Hollow Man's eyes. The Hollow Man closed all of Hollow Man's eyes would be easy.
If the Hollow Man died and then like a detective had to like do the thing where they like pass their hands over, they have to like do all their hands, just like going back and forth and back and forth. Yeah.
Poke his 3 eyes. Poke his eyes 3 Stooges style. Yeah.
With a rake.
How many eyes does Hollow Man need to wink? Technically half of them, I think is usually
that's
the
a
answer.
good question. Is a wink half your eyes or is a wink 1 eye? It's hard to say.
It's half your eyes. It's definitely half your eyes.
Okay.
Yeah. Queewa, how's it going? Is your Twitch schedule off by an hour? Did I get confused today? No, it should be regular. We did not have time zone like daily. Firstly, good game on Tuesday. But we did not experience any sort of like daylight savings. That will come, I think, in a couple weeks. But normally we start 8:45 Eastern Standard, whatever we're in. It might be EDT, EST. I'm not sure. How you doing? I put my hand up between your fingers. Let's go.
All right.
Hey, Tron made it in. If I can work out a good back and get it just right, I'll throw it really hard. Wait, sorry, Supernaut?
If I can work out a good back. I'm not sure I understand either. No, Alex, we're playing Startup because
Alex,
the new ban list makes things a little bit exciting.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, sorry. I didn't mark as Startup. I rehost. There's going to be creative commission snaking into this game.
Ooh.
Lucio, good game.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Lucio.
We
good
good?
to see you.
Yeah, it's definitely standard. I forgot to set it, but Tron's going to just pick a startup deck, I imagine. He knows what we're up to. Cool. Nah, it's fine. Whatever you want. I'm excited to see Ate. Now, Tron said Glacier. Okay, Atea. Oh, window for Zero. I don't like the start though.
No, the start's not great.
It's not great. Like the best thing is we have the slap handle for the early check, but Tattoo Bull is such a pain in the ass. That's better. Oh, saucy face check. Oh, I love it. Like how Patrick describes it as a little exciting instead of a little more exciting. Best luck, have fun. Both players mulliganed.
I'm happy people like things about me.
My deck is also Glacier. Someone just burned all my it's at the start of the game. It took me a while. Look at this Atea HQ respect. Not that we're not happy to see Atea fire on turn 1. GL. Okay, cool. So I don't think we have a big reason to face check. We can get the leech
Mhm.
down, run HQ, put a Saucy on it, and force some like hard decisions.
Mhm.
I think if it's a sentry, the worst case scenario is we end up taking, I think, 2 to 3 damage. Even if it's a teeny, it's bad. I
Mm.
wonder if Saucy Spree is ever good. Ah, I could see it.
I am so I will almost definitely not be at Worlds. I'm
Why do you say almost definitely? Is there a chance I can convince you?
because you know how I am. If someone
Yeah.
can suddenly make it like very easy to go, and I'm like, it just like works out perfectly, then maybe I will end up there accidentally and just I
I
don't know. But
am I
I
am
don't have a
bummed that
ticket.
you're
I'm
not
not
going to
planning on it.
Worlds. I'm sad you're not going to Worlds. I just want to make it very clear to put that social pressure on you.
Thank you. That does help
Uh,
actually. Yeah, I appreciate that. Because now even if I don't go, I will have that seared into my mind and I will never not go again.
Did you read what Jeff said? How's it going, Jeff? Your
Uh,
stream on Tuesday was sick.
Jeff, when I first read that, I forgot what we were talking about, and I'm like, wow, Jeff is desperate. He's like, Patrick, I'm trying to reach you. Patrick, your car's limited warranty is expired.
Patrick to your rider.
Yeah, if you need brown M and M's,
Yeah,
take
I
out
was
all the
gonna
brown M and
say
M's and put Patrick in the M&M's bowl.
you'll never imagine what kind of M&Ms this guy
Yeah.
likes.
Hmm.
It's very funny.
Yeah, Jeff, I'll get in touch. Like it's not just a money thing, but that's part of it. So we'll see. Who
It
is messaging me?
HQ's got some agendas in it. I kind of want to do the saucy res to like undo the Vovo. Um, I don't like the thing is I don't know how bad the face checks are in the format. We definitely want to get
Hmm.
something down here. At a minimum, we can always do like leech archives, install ice, like install an icebreaker with Arissana. I just think we don't really want to do that until we find our lily pad.
Hmm.
Leech dirty laundry is fine too. That's actually a relatively good value, but we can try at least once here. Shit. Snake is affordable now,
With
technically, but
Vovo on HQ, yeah.
if Tehran reses a snake into this board state, like I think we're winning that trade.
Yeah, if they do all that to go down to 0 credits, like that seems okay with
Yeah,
us. Yeah.
I'm just gonna do this. We probably should use Arissana here to install, but I don't actually think we have a huge incentive to install. This is pretty low value. It's 3 credits and a leech, so that might be a good enough for startup. Patrick wants to be pinged here for NSG stuff. Time to spill all the secrets, I guess. Crowar, let's go.
Yeah, just all of narrative, just ping me here if you need me to look at something. Just
Dear,
paste it.
your car was towed. Please call now. Patrick was bothering me about going to Philly PAX though. Unplugged.
Yeah, oh yeah, which is funny because like that wouldn't be significantly different as
Dude,
an
the
expense
flight to
than.
Philly was like the same, if not more expensive than the flight to San Francisco somehow.
I know, I know. It's just like Philly. I have a friend who recently moved to Philly, so I'd see her as well. So
Yeah.
it makes for a very efficient uh, trip. And also, we have frequently talked about how we'd love to like host a table
Yeah, I
for
know.
NSG, just us all day, like do like a full shift
I'd be
and be like
stoked.
the best salespeople that NSG has ever seen. Dan B may protest, but Dan B knows where he's at.
The problem is, as I've explained, is the car that I've
That's it. Yeah.
been driving around with has been decommissioned. So I can't
Yep.
drive down to Philly anymore.
That's what the stream name refers to.
Fly to EWR, not at Phil, probably cheaper. Opera shoes. That's good to know. I'll look into it though. What about a
Mm,
flight to New York City, New Jersey, and find someone drive you down? Would that be cheaper? Honestly, probably.
yeah,
Yo,
maybe.
really quickly, how do we deal with this regolith? We need to deal with the regolith. Now we can pre-install the saucy to threaten that we have a breaker, or we can just like
Hmm.
install the echelon and run it, or install the cleaver and run it, assuming it is a barrier. How do we deal with this?
For 12, if they res something that keeps us out, then that's not really a setback for them because they'll make money right back.
So
I
I think
like
we do cleaver,
Cleaver
echelon, run saucy.
and Saucy is our Ari install,
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
because now it has to be a code gate.
Hmm.
Arissana, saucy, host, res it. Unironically, round trip commuter rail in New York to Philly is like $40. Oh, that's sick. Okay, no res.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, yeah, that is very tempting and cool because like it's relatively easy to get from Montreal to New York. It's not relatively easy to get from Montreal to
No,
Philadelphia via yeah. So
I'll look
interesting.
into it. Thank you.
Hmm.
I got extra suitcase space. I just get to Singapore and I'll pack you in. Pat, you've always wanted to go to Singapore. That might be the easiest way to get to San Francisco.
I'm curious to go to Singapore. They've got that building that looks like a boat. I don't understand it.
This is the Charlotte. Risasi is stranded. The Volvo will slide over. Volvo is not sliding over. He is flooded. We have no money. Patrick, who mismanaged our economy?
No, no, I would okay. Well, technically, I did, and I take responsibility for that. As your finance minister, I will resign in disgrace
Our
and
MU is
take.
full, Patrick. Are we discarding the coalescence?
Oh no, no, we draw until we get an Aesop's.
There's
I
only
told
2.
you we
Sorry,
draw
I'm
until
sorry, I'm
we
sorry.
get an Aesop's.
So
Did you not put Meeting of the Minds in this deck? I
I
told you to
think
put
we
Meeting of
just
the Minds in
trashed
this
this
deck.
Aesop's to install this coalescence for 1.
Okay.
Hopefully this is not a 4-2 and Tron is not bluffing. Because if that's an Nisei, like, we're upset. Oh my
I have
god,
so
this
much
this
trouble.
Volvo is doing so much, like, mental, like, it is keeping us out
Vovo.
of HQ with his barrier.
It reminds me of that joke. Like my grandpa walks 5 miles a day. He started when he was 70. He's 95. We can't find him. Vovo's a grandpa, so he's moving around a lot.
He hasn't moved. That's the problem, man. He has
Yeah, I don't
Tron
know
has
what I'm talking
17 agendas in hand.
about.
I'm just gonna run it, man. Should I just burner it?
uh, just burner it. He has 14 credits.
Yeah, but then he get cards at hand, and we put him in R&D. Like, the
It
real
was
thing is that we needed, like, dirty laundry archives, then we burn our
Andre.
HQ with slap vandal.
Shush!
Yeah.
Someone's asking me to explain the joke. So Thanos, the joke is that I say my grandpa has been walking 5 miles a day. It suggests that he's very healthy, and that he's been doing it for a long time. But I'm not filling you in on the secret of the joke, which is that the 5 miles they add up. He gets 5 miles, he does not return home, and so he's now made it several thousand miles in the span of his lifetime. We don't know where he is, and I miss him very much. If you've seen a man who looks like me but about 10 years older, call me.
Tron, listen. I think we need to run HQ. Tron's holding 17 agendas here. Let's play around Phonotria. No action. I'm not burnering. We're just going to touch an agenda with our hand. It's an Atini. Shit, that was the worst case. We'll break this for 6 credits, I guess.
It's 3. It's 2 to avoid. So
Patrick,
do we
5
pay
miles a
6
day
to?
for 20 years is 36,500 miles. Yeah, that was easy math, honestly.
Oh my! How far has he gotten? Like that's how much closer to the moon has he gotten?
Okay, so we either take some mixture of damage or we take some mixture of credit damage. Now we can slap Vandal, which is a card and 2 credits. So it's like equivalent, but it eats one of our MU slots, which like kind of stinks. So I think I'm
Right,
just going to like let this fire and say that we can
and
take
then pay the
1
6. Yeah,
damage because we don't have a
yeah.
Fuji.
He's walking in the forest, and
Do
it's a
we
very small forest. It's one of those tiny
do
forests,
we
but
respect
like
snare? 15.3%. I'm going to take 1 dead damage. Okay, now
oh
we died
man,
a snare.
the thing is, like when he left, I don't remember him taking like any like breathing apparatus. So I think like as soon as he left the lower atmosphere, he was like toast.
Okay, we got this. There were 2 snares in my deck and you just touched Fuji instead. You're probably fine. You actually had snares? I don't remember. I don't know if it's a deck list you shared with me, but I'm pretty sure that one didn't have snares in it.
Some Netrunner players love math. Some Netrunner players like really dislike math. Yeah, my grandfather Shia LaBeouf. I'm named after him. My middle name, of course, is LaBeouf.
It's turn 6. We've drawn 15 cards. This feels wrong. This is actually Glacier. Ugh. Okay. I don't think anything is going to happen excitingly or fast. This is the Platonic God. Do you have a starter game? I don't like this one that much. I like the ones where we're running more. You
Huh.
can't run that easily on this one.
Thank you, Frank. If Conrad were around, he would be really glad to hear that.
We need to talk about the GNK on Monday. It was actually really, or on Tuesday. It was really great. It's a really nice GNK.
Yeah, Frank, were you at the GNK the other day?
Frank
How'd you do?
wasn't. And I thought that you wouldn't bring that up because now it sounds like I'm saying it was nice because Frank wasn't there, which was not my intention.
No, no, yeah, we like Frank very much. I especially like how he brings down the mood of a GNK when he's there. So
It's a joking platonic GNK.
yeah,
No,
honestly,
not like this.
I mean, maybe Plato had jokes.
That's a hard fix.
Hmm.
Does undo turn break JNet? Let me just fix
Hey,
it.
no problem, Frank.
This is in hand. This goes counter. I'm not gonna risk it.
So
I'm just
what does has anyone figured out what GNK stands for? Because I think it's Good Night Kids, but
you're not serious, are
like
you?
serious about what?
Whatever, man. Someone figured this out. Is such a funny sentence. Someone figured this thing out. What's this about? Patrick, what the heck? It's very funny. Do we challenge this? Like, what's the other code gate that Tron can res here? I caught really spicy peppers and I just touched my eye and I'm worried that I did something
No.
bad. Our habaneros grew in
Oh
and they're
man.
like absurdly hot.
Oh, good for you. I can't actually see you, so like I'm gonna watch the
Yeah, that's
stream later.
true.
I'm gonna find this like timestamp to see when you touch your eyes.
I just want to send it, man.
Game and Quatch, Gin and Conic.
I'm sending it.
Okay.
I'm not committing to the saucy. No action. Saucy's too cute. It's a Karuna. That's fine. That's a 2 credit tax. We don't have a lot of money. We should have used the saucy. What the fuck? It cost 5?
That's a solid gateway ice.
What the hell?
I've been telling Andre he needs to install an eye wash station in his apartment like they have in labs.
Aesop's money? I Aesop's the wrong card, so we did get the Aesop's money. Yeah, we Aesop's the saucy. You have leech? Wait
You
a
know that Simpsons
second.
episode where Burns pays Homer to play pranks on people, but he's like really protective of Carl?
I'm
That's what I think when I think of an eye wash station. That's what I think of.
sorry, I'm falling apart.
It's okay.
Everyone in
Well,
chat immediately, you got leech, you have leech, use the leech, use the leech. I'm like trying to figure my shit out because I ruined myself. Okay. So now if we want to put the saucy on, we'll have credits. We're going to need credits because we have to play a Psy game. I'm assuming Tron has to res this, so I'm going to do a thing. And my thing is, I'm going to put the saucy on, assuming it's not a code gate. If it's a code gate, congratulations, Tron. You have it.
Yes, thank you, Pentium processor. I'm not supposed to get pudding in this eye. Oh man, even just reciting Simpsons quotes makes me laugh.
No further action. The saucy is sick.
I know someone who tries to recite SNL gags as if that's going to make me laugh the way Simpsons gags will, but no, you can't. Like trying to recite an SNL gag is like reheating 2-week-old meatballs. Like they weren't going to be good before the reheating, and they're even worse that later. That was as a writer, I think that's maybe the worst analogy I've ever made. So it's all uphill.
I wasn't paying attention to you. I was busy winning.
No, that's okay. Like I think like this is fine. Like I think we're able to like split our attention. I'm entertaining the chat.
Show us the hands. Hey, Radish. 6 cards. We're gonna see 5 of them probably. We have a financial issue.
Thanks,
Off-field
Frank.
office.
I know
2
you know what you're
analytic
talking about.
voids and a Sisyphus.
Okay, so HQ is okay.
HQ is a problem.
HQ is a problem. It's
and there's one unknown card. Like, what's the unknown card you add to that? Yeah, Sisyphus. I'm not excited about Sisyphus.
We must assume Sisyphus is in HQ. I think that's how that.
Yeah. Honestly, running archives makes a bit of sense here. The issue is we have to get back into the game financially, and I think we have to do Muse for Coalescence because it is how our deck works. Hiding one snare, there's a chance, yeah.
There's a chance, or it could be like a third agenda.
The thing is, like, we just don't beat Anoetic. The fact that this doesn't draw us cards, man, card draw is so rough. Okay, that's plus 17 credits or something. Draw. Ugh. Can you install
that draw? Didn't really guess anywhere.
Oh, that's good though. Do we want to run archives?
Yeah, sure. There's one face down. Let's see what's in there.
We can install the saucy for free. Yeah. This is good. We want to be
get
doing.
The urban art stuff.
We want to be doing this. Saucy on HQ ice. If it gets trashed, who's left? Insufficient MB. Okay, no. That's true.
Oh damn. We
Oh, oh,
oh,
oh,
uh,
oh.
okay.
Okay,
Okay, so profoundly flooded
okay,
is what I'm reading.
okay. So keep your secrets. Cool. That's just there, I guess. Charlotte does flood you. Like, it does draw a lot of cards. And this is
Mhm.
only 2 ice and Anoetic. Like, we're gonna lose to Anoetic. I do think that's like a startup thing. Is like there's no way to deal with Anoetic
Mhm.
besides actually Burner is fine. But we're almost there. We're almost at the point in which we have the Doom Rig.
Yep. One must imagine Sisyphus archived.
Okay. Anoetic, the winning agenda. Why would we not run this? Are we trying to get the threat for? Is this
Wait,
is
where's the winning agenda is in server 1, where's the Anoetic?
that's a good question.
Okay.
But honestly, where is the Anoetic? Like this board state is incredibly weird.
It must still be in hand unless they've put the Anoetic on the Charlotte.
Yes. So what the hell is this?
I don't know, I haven't been paying frickin' attention. I'm
Patrick,
turning Simpsons quotes
I
about
can't tell what's going on.
my god. No one will tell me what G and K stands for.
Another Charlotte, but it's unique.
Well, you can put 2 in the same server.
No,
She's a clone, dude, like,
I wish there was
thematically,
rules. Yeah,
it's
unique
fine.
clone doesn't make any sense, but that's fine. I'm gonna install the buzzsaw, and we're just gonna trick shot and not care.
Mhm. Charlotte is my creation, I can confirm that she is a special clone.
I'm just sending it, Patrick.
Yeah, I don't care.
Right.
Send it, end this game,
You
and
can
go
pop
rub
one
your
in the
eyes with
other,
milk
but
so that I can talk about my board game shelf while you're gone.
oh crap! It's a Boto. That is a lot of
Uh-huh.
money. Okay, we lost all our counters.
Mhm. Good Netrunner knowledge, I like that.
Is Tron gonna res a snake? I don't think we care. Pop one for to get the start of turn of the other one. Yeah, but that's not that good when Tron's hands like this. Aruna, send a message. GG? Like, what was
Mhm.
that? And I don't mean Tron. I mean, like, I don't think we did anything. What was in the remote? Like, that just deflated. 7 unique
Mhm.
cards accessed? Yep. And we knew we're like
Wow.
15 points were in HQ, so that R&D access should not have converted.
No, not at all. Wow.
Ah, interesting. Again, like, I guess it has to be a Charlotte if Tron's not putting the Anoetic on top of it. But, like, the truth of the matter is that Tron cannot fire the Anoetic when Tron's hand is only agendas.
Mhm.
Like, I lost his ace and 4 axes. Jai, what was the good game that was on stream in which, like, you got pummeled in the first, like, 6 turns and you pulled it back? Like, just pummeled. Ah, beans. The early Vovo turtle on HQ was telling. Oh, now 3 Cyber Sand Harvesters are in the deck with Vovo. Infinite value. Yeah, the APAC final versus Deer, I think it
Mhm.
was. Lost a game at a CO on 4 axes recently. Getlander just hammered R&D and keeping agendas. Yeah. Thanks for the game. Hey, Tron, thanks for the game. On my first cut in NPC filling 4 axes. Has anyone won on a
Mhm.
single Maker's Eye? I don't think I have. I played Never for a
I
long time. I don't think I've
I
Maker's Eyed one
I'm
shot.
I
I
definitely God, I
maybe?
can't remember I can't remember if I have, but at a regional, I sat next to someone else who did. Who, like,
Ooh.
Maker's Eye, like, turned to 7 points worth. And of course, in my first game at NPC Montreal, Frank, our dear friend in chat, did, like, basically get 7 points on 1 trick shot. Like, 2 agendas on off R&D, and then
Oof.
right into the remote server for the final agenda. Yeah, thank you, Frank.
Yeah, single
And
trick
then
shot. Yeah.
Frank wonders why I'm such a fan.
I think I got a 7-point deep data mining click one. Oh, that can happen. Yeah, I've indexing in one
Oh,
on turn one. I've not
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maker's Eyes. Yeah.
Hmm. Frank, I'm glad I was able to help you get to a top of Swiss day, and that's all I got to say about that.
Okay, Patrick.
What's that?
So you don't. What's really important to understand is if Patrick
Yeah,
feels
sorry.
like he's missing some of my social cues with my body language, he just
Mhm.
can't see my camera. I'm not scolding
Yeah,
you. I'm just saying right now our cameras are bigger and we're moving into the news section. We good?
yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Let me actually bring up the stream.
Okay.
another window. So I
So
know I'll be like 10 seconds behind, but I will know when you're when you are moved on to a new topic.
I shout this out on Tuesday. The World Showdown that Man of the Moon is putting on, it starts this weekend. It's a really exciting event. Abraham has been putting on a huge organized play stuff online. It's really accessible. Mind you, this will be linked in the chat, or sorry, in the description on YouTube. You can find it on the front page of Always Be Running. It specifically says, too, if you're a newer player, this is a great entry. There's actually surprise support set aside specifically if this is your first tournament online play. You'll get some, I believe they're Pelongis, which is really, really nice. This end of line, I'm not sure if it was commissioned for this. I've never seen it before. It's a brindle mold. It's really, really quite sweet. So this is going to be a big tournament for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it's accessible to newer players. Hopefully it is. Secondly, a lot of people are going to be using this as a testing spot for Worlds, which is great. This is one of the big organized play things with a lot of players before Worlds, and obviously people want to be testing their stuff out. Not specifically commissioned. Okay, cool. It's a really nice end of line. I like this one a lot. This is just this weekend. It starts at around 11 in the morning, I believe, my time zone on Saturday, and then day 2's on Sunday. It is also going to be streamed. Shout out to Axu. Axu will be streaming it. Link to Axu's channel will also be in the description. He already has a video up, or the live queue called World Showdown. You can go in there. You can give it a like. But it will be streamed on the weekend. So if you want to watch or you want to play, that'll be up all weekend. I will be dropping in to do some commentary on both days. I think earlier on one day, later on the other. But shout out to Axu, who puts on a great stream. And there's going to be other people joining throughout as well. But it's going to be a great tournament that's coming really soon. I'd recommend you getting involved and taking a look at it because, yeah, there's a lot of people. It looks like a killer event. Already registered, there's 64 people just
awesome.
I know, on ABR. It's huge. It's going to be a really,
cool.
really big event, which is going to be very exciting. Other new stuff, No Signal Games updated their 2024 World Championship page. Now they have this drop down page. I know I showed up one day and I was really upset that there was no World's presence on the No Signal Games front page. It's a lot better now. So there's a whole hub here that gives you a lot of information, specifically the venue and event info. If I'm not mistaken, opens up like the SF with the World's 2024 info guide and has a bunch of the stuff made from the San Francisco players telling you a bit about what's local, what's commute and the area, the neighborhoods and stuff like that, which is really, really great. This information making the thing more accessible is fantastic. There's even a graph about temperatures, which is sick. So all the stuff you can find up there. Again, Worlds is like in 3 weeks away at this point, which is kind of frightening for those who are underprepared like myself, but incredibly exciting. We need to convince Pat to go, which is great. Did Andre not pre-like the stream so he could do it live, or because he doesn't usually like streams and felt pressure for us watching? Honestly, I did it to do it live, so you'd know, but also I do not watch YouTube content logged in as the Metropole Grid, so it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, you do it logged in as Patrick Sklar.
Exactly, yeah. This is also came up today. Nick posted this. Nick, mind you, is a local Odo Nuvo. Great guy. I posted this that has a bit of a schedule so you can actually see when things start and end. So it looks like Crown of Servers ends around 6 o'clock, round 5 ends, and then the winning team's announced. We'll go for dinner, and then you see there's actually an organized play Q&A and tournament or roundtable, which is pretty good. I've heard in the TO kind of Discord server, people are asking, is it possible to have like a roundtable so people can ask questions? And it seems like NSG's down to do that, which is pretty cool. It's really, really cool. I don't know if there's gonna be trivia this year. Usually there's a gap year to do trivia or something like that. I'm not sure if anyone's organizing it. I would be kind of interested to figure something out, but it might be too short time. Then obviously there's 2 days of the championship. Standard is day 1, and then day 2 is standard 2 rounds, I believe, and then the top cut, but also there's a startup event and all the side events. So you see how it goes. It looks like they're going to be trying to end about 9 o'clock on a Saturday, so it's going to be a long day for sure. Wait, is 21 9 o'clock? Yeah, it's 9 o'clock 21. So I helped do the trivia last time. I should get on that. Yeah, trivia, I missed it last year, unfortunately, doing some tech stuff, but trivia is always just the best. I know Shiga's trying to run Janksgiving Friday night. Oh, super cool too. Yeah, I think locals too. I don't know if this is on the page or should be done in the Discord. I know people who are coming to San Francisco a bit earlier who might want to be able to go to like a local event and sit down and play some Netrunner games and get some practice rounds in. If there's a local event in the Bay Area that people can get to, I don't know if it's plugged here, but I think that's something people would want to know about. Maybe something that could be discussed in Discord. I will only be showing up on Thursday, so this is not for me, but I've heard other folks who are coming in earlier who would like to maybe see the local scene, which is probably a nice thing to do. Okay, I think that's mostly it. We had a GNK on Tuesday. I know I talked about the stream.
What does it mean?
I ended the stream at 4:30, and then I had to be there at like 5:30. I was there at 6 when it started. We had 9 players, which is quite nice. Last time I went to a GNK, I don't think I had a great time. I was pretty exhausted, and we played like 5 rounds, I think. And I think every round besides one, I played against like mitosis P or like tag prison and the sort of stuff I don't like. And I don't know. I know I said something about it on stream, but lo and behold, I don't think it's because I said something. On Tuesday, went back, the field is like 8 HBs and then like 1 Jinteki deck, and I only played
Yeah, yeah.
against HB, and I just had a great time. Obviously, that is my meta preference to some extent. Had a really nice time. Great folks came out and just grinding some games. Excited to play in. Montreal meta this bad. Now I need to rethink visiting. Oh no, it was really cool. I had a very enjoyable time. I was playing Kikai's. I've also played the earlier Bridgman version of Banhar Steve and just had a killing of a time. Obviously playing against 3 HP decks.
Banhart
helps.
Steve is pretty cool. I think I
Oh,
played Banhart Steve the last time I went to a GNK. It's pretty
so
fun. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun to see it. I had my Banhar bird out, the bird token, just sending it. Shaming
Mhm.
his local meta onto HB. Like, I don't want to be that guy, but like,
Andre,
I had a better
I
time.
think you have to accept the fact that your words have so much power. They affect NSG and the way we arrange our website, and they
No.
affect the local meta because people feel like they have to make you happy. And I think that's fine because if making you happy makes other people happy, then really what you're doing is generous, and you should be more shaming of other people and the
Antoine
meta.
says, I appreciate you shaming our meta into something fun. I know Antoine takes the same way. Very cool too.
Mhm.
Antoine, we've known for a long time. Antoine said when we played, he was like, I don't think we've ever played. Which actually,
Oh, that's cool.
that
Like
might have
you've
been
known someone for
true.
like
Yeah.
7 years that you never play together.
And we've
Yeah.
somehow never played a game of Netrunner, so I ended up playing a game with Antoine. It was a
Mhm.
really fun game too. Antoine came in first, mind you. Did great at the event. Disappointed Montreal
Mhm.
didn't double down and all play PE. I was considering it, honestly. Last thing before we get back to startup, Maddie and I are working on some merch stuff for Worlds, and I can show you some stuff because some stuff is really cool. So the first thing we did is we bought this like mechanical metal press that allows you to make badges and pins. So you know the
Mm.
sort of like plastic or metal pins that you put on your bags and coats and whatever? We have a machine that makes them. And to show you what they
Cool.
look like, we made a couple prototypes. Firstly, this art is not ours, but the short of the long is, Pat can't see this, is that this doesn't look good in the light. But we took a sticker.
I'm looking at the
stream.
the
Okay.
stream,
So we took a sticker
which is why I'm looking off to the side. Yeah.
and we put it on this, and it looks great. It looks fantastic. Just a sticker. This one we colored first with some marker, and we put a sticker again, just the cute stickers Maddie has, and the badges look fantastic. So we're gonna be making more of these with Metropole stuff on them. I wanted to try this, Patrick. I feel kind of bad about it because clearly I defaced an old Netrunner card. This is a
Oh no.
precognition of which I have many copies, but this
Oh, yeah.
sort of worked, but not great enough to be reproducible.
Yeah,
Where
I can see how that could work. That's cool.
so I crunched the art out of a Netrunner card, and unfortunately the cardboard is just slightly too thick to make this be like a thing you can do. But the short of the long is if you have thinner cardstock or you print like your own proxies, is that you actually can make them into badges. Now, I don't think I have any interest in selling badges of art that I have not owned or commissioned, so I'm not going to sell NSG or FFG art on badges, but it's a cool thing to take like a card that you like, or in this case, precognition. And it was easy enough to use the machine to make a really nice like badge that you could put on your bag and stuff like that. So we're gonna be working on that, which is great. You could probably set the art layer from the cardstock. Probably, I don't know how to do that, but you might be right that if you peel the front off, it'd be tedious. But yeah, there's probably a way to do that. You probably onto something there, Cror. That might actually be great. Wiggle an X-Acto knife in there. Yeah, I can tell from the cut thing. You can see the separation of the layers, so that might be worth looking at. So we have a bunch of work there to do. We've been putting together a bunch of designs and stuff. Maddie's been hard at work, but we're gonna have some stuff for sale at Worlds, including these badges. We should add some stickers and then maybe some like t-shirts or something. I'm not sure about that just yet, but we've been hard at work. And it's stressful. It's stressful to try and make something you think is cool. I'll just make a video. Much easier, I think. Okay, Pat. It's 10:40. You want to go back to startup? You want to do a corp?
You know what? I've been talking for a while. I'm
Okay.
starting to feel like my sinuses filling up again.
Oh,
To a
sorry,
point
man.
where I might get gross if I stick around too long. So I think I'm going to bow out for now.
That's fine. Feel better, man.
But hopefully, like I'll be perfectly fine sometime next month, and hopefully we can stream again then, maybe even for an entire stream.
I hope you're feeling better soon.
Yeah. Obviously, if send your well wishes to me, you know how to reach me on Discord. Everyone, send me emails. Let me know what GNK stands for. Jeff, obviously, whenever you want, and I'll talk to you all later.
You should message Jeff, by the way.
No, I know. I saw that Jeff has messaged me, and I will respond to him tomorrow morning, I think.
Yeah. Cool. Feel better, man.
Thanks a lot.
Ciao.
All right.
Oh, wait, actually,
Bye,
Pat,
everybody.
can we do a thing that we have to do privately that we can do publicly?
Oh my god, yeah, okay.
Okay, so just so y'all know, we have to take like a picture for the thumbnail. So I'm just gonna do it in the middle of the stream and I'll timestamp this. So Pat, you want to do a nice smile into the camera? That's what happens behind the scenes. Thanks, Pat.
Okay, cool.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
All right, give me 1 second to move this around. That should be that. Hopefully Pat's feeling better. Oh man, whenever I take these headphones off, I realize how loud I've probably been yelling this whole time. They're just good headphones. In fact, two good headphones that I get too loud. Maybe it's also that sort of thing. I have those parents, maybe, where like they do long distance calls, and so they have to yell all the time in the 90s because they're talking to people in Europe, and then anytime they're on the phone, they're just yelling because the person's far away. I think it's great. What a peek behind the curtain. It honestly has to happen. Like publishing just takes a lot of time. So you have to do this screenshot, you have to do this, and it's just, where did Pat go? He vanished. All right, I have a couple decks that I want to try out. Don't tell Andre, but I got a Zelda. Is that out already? So there's two decks that I have built up. One of them I think is really cool. That I actually might want to do just a little deck dive on it. Not this that I think that it works, but I think it's just so goofy and so strange. And the idea is that I want to play Lou and open Imp for obvious reasons. And then we get to play all the cool startup stuff, right? Like you have Audrey, which the issue right now, I imagine, with the Trash from Hand synergy package is that it's rough when you don't have Steel Skin. Almost all the cards I want you to trash from hand obviously want cards in hand, things like Carnivore, things like Audrey, and you just don't have cards in hand. So it's a bit hard to do this, but I definitely would try it. However, this is where you end up on the other weird issues. Like you realize I don't have a lot of card draw in Anarch in startup. So I was like, F it. I already realized I'm running this many programs from some reason. Why don't we play Lilypad? Which gives you 2 MU and gives you a card draw every time you install a program. And we have a lot of programs. So we can also end up unironically playing Aesop's Pawn Shop and just selling empty imps and like leeches or whatever value engine stuff. And then push ourselves forward, hopefully touch things every turn and get a draw engine with Solidarity Badge. So we end up playing this like weird Anarch Shaperless with 2 Lilypad, 2 Aesop's Pawn Shop. And hopefully that's enough to fuel our engine. I imagine this one's a bit feast or famine, because if you don't find your Solidarity Badge or Imp, and we're a 40 card deck, so we can get a bit more consistently, that might be kind of cool. But I want to try this one out at some point. I might do some recording off stream to see if this makes any amount of sense, because this does seem fun. We have one Praxis for recursion. Praxis seems totally fine in an Aesop's engine, and Aquaceres Crew is obviously very good with 3 leech to destroy some ice, but just like getting pressure on with Imp, how bad can that be? This seems kind of fun. I've been editing the OS Nationals recordings. I have newfound respect for your work, Andre. Cror, how's it been? If you ever need help, let me know. It's a lot of work. Video editing is a lot of work. It is like, unfortunately, the exact skill set where if you do a great job, people don't notice. And it is sometimes you'll realize that. You don't need conduit, imp is your multi-axis. Yeah, Jai, I think there's a chance that we can drop the conduit. I was a bit quick to play conduit on the basis that it's firstly a program. Also, we used to have cookbook in this list, and that's clearly a bit better with cookbook. I think you could cut conduit. There's no simul chips, or like, I don't think we want to spend 3 or 4 influence on Muse. So like the other option is if you're playing Cookbook, you could consider playing as well. And maybe Cookbook's worth it, because an imp with Cookbook is a fair bit better than without it. Is that, what was I going to say? Is that you could maybe play Tranquilizer. That could be a bit fun. So that was an option. I think at some point also I had, personally I've had an eye for an eye in this, but I don't think we had the card draw to support it. But we also had some point a Docklands Pass, which probably serves the deck a bit better than Conduit. I just kind of like this button where it's like, I'm going to win on Central, especially when we have Crew and Leech. Like we can just blow up all the ice on R&D and just make sure we win fast. And I think that's fine. But yeah, Conduit might be a bit of a luxury in this deck for sure. Maybe we just want more bio bands. Even actually, I think cutting the Conduit and playing 2 Diesels might be fine. People will notice my work for sure. I'm excited to see it though. This is the other one that, and I think we're going to play this now. It's a Thunderbolt deck just to try it, because there is a fair bit of res and de-res stuff in the format that seems okay. This is kind of PD adjacent. Obviously it is. Our agenda suite's a bit weird, but we can start playing some of the stranger ice in the format. So like Boto seems really good in the format. Obviously Brawn's in the format, but Boto is like Brawn, but more fun. And then we play on cells, and the Tithes are really good. Hammer is really good. We can play Lycean. I think the code gates, if you're not playing MIC, and I'm not sure if you want to play MIC in the format, I think understanding of MIC in the format is basically attached to understanding whether or not everyone's playing Buzzsaw like I think they should be. And if they are, like, Magnet's not amazing, but at least forces a gear check and has good teeth against Arissana, which I imagine is one of the better cards in the format. Seems like Diesel's a solid consideration in any startup deck. Yeah, yo, Monkey, anytime that you can get card draw on your deck that cheaply, that easily, you'd consider in startup. Card draw in startups is really, really hard between. That's a super cursed agenda suite. Yep. Yeah, I think there's actually a big chance you don't want to play Stegodon. I don't think this deck needs Stegodon. I thought Stegodon was just an option, but I do think there's a chance that you can cut a Stegodon for Lightning Laboratory and have another slot. But I just wanted to try a bit of everything. Send a message is like obviously not bad, but it doesn't inherently work with Thunderbolt. But I don't think making Botu 5 or 7 strength for a single run matters that much. It's a weird agenda suite. Stegodon should never be real. I totally agree with you. I don't like Stegodon. I think it is a pretty like frustrating card. It's anti-fun, honestly. It is legitimately an anti-fun card. But I do think I want to try it in a deck like this for obvious reasons. It's like de-resing your Tithes is just good enough. So I'm going to try this one. But I do think like startup has some cool stuff in it. Like decks that are probably obviously not good enough for standard, but could exist here. New corp deck. Startup. Stegodon. Startup. Thunderbolt. The code gate slot is really difficult because I think there are a couple options. I'm not sure if we want to play a teeny because we don't actually care about damage. Diviner is the other option, but again, I'm so personally convinced that Buzzsaw is the only killer, or sorry, the only decoder you care about in the format that, like, I don't know why you would play a Diviner. It seems really, really rough. Unless, of course, the format is slow enough in which they can't find their code gate breaker, which from our testing so far has not been untrue. Corp. Yeah, I figured it out. Give that a shot. I think also at the end of the stream, we might be able to show off some extra art from Worlds, but not our art. Maybe Cat's art. Oh, the call into it. That's probably for the best. All right, I don't know how long it's going to find a startup game. Again, I don't think there's people grinding startup right now. There's a lot of reasons to grind standard because there's an event coming up. But hey, Lucille's in. Let's go. Oh, appreciate it. So this has been a bouncing. What flavor runner do you want? Oh, your choice. For the past week, what about a throwback startup style format where you can add one standard legal card? We can call it a throw up. That's the strange thing. It's like, I think adding a card to startup has a chance of breaking the format. I don't know. It seems to go against the idea of what the format is, but oh, cool, Isla. I'm glad to see what Isla can or can't do. I don't know. I think ultimately, like, to make startup a more balanced format, it just needs, like, specifically, here's 12 cards potentially. Like, here are 12 cards that exist that are always just going to be part of startup. Sometimes a broken format is fun. It can be. But the thing is, like, the format has to be interesting. It has to be fun, but it also has to be long lasting. And it's also very important to understand when I talk about, like, the health of a format or the value of a format, like, there's a difference between how I play Netrunner and how most people might play Netrunner, or some people will play Netrunner, let's say that. Where it's like, if I know in the format, this is the best thing to do, like, say my thesis that just playing Cleaver, Buzzsaw, Leech is the best thing you can do in the format, which might not be the case, right? Like, a lot of people won't do that, or they choose not to do that when they're playing the game. Even if they know that that is the, like, most, you know, first order optimal strategy, they'll choose not to do it. And I think that's totally fair. I think I'm going to keep this hand. We'll put a Tithe on HQ. We'll put a Spin Doctor on remote server, hopefully drawn to an ice. Mandatory drawn to an ice would be sick, and we'll get the Regolith behind it. From there we'll go. I want to do throwback with like 2 or 3 cards. I think I'd be much more interested than that, obviously. But throwback seems like it's pretty cool. I do think throwback might need a ban or two, though, Jeff. Like, I don't think Pinel... Oh, I guess Film Critic is not in throwback. I keep forgetting about that. I don't really consider throwback likes to be long-lasting formats. They're nifty little side formats for an event or two. I don't know. I think like throwback is appealing to folks like Jeff and maybe I as well, because it feels close to the idea of Eternal without being the card pool of Eternal or like the problematic speed of Eternal. Like, that's a problem for us. Like, Eternal is just cooked. It's just such a cooked format where like the majority of card pool doesn't see play, even though it's the biggest card pool, because it's not at the speed of what the nonsense you can do in Eternal. And I think people want a format where it has a bigger card pool, especially the old cards we like, but not like totally messed up. I think I'm just going to do this as soon as I can and see what happens. We get owned by Burner. Like, I want to play Faust. I want to play Faust with Steelskin Scarring. Let's see how it goes. Eternal's too wild. Yeah, Flesh. It's like just a bit too much, maybe. Okay. This is bad for us most of the time. Oof, not this time. Love Eternal though, yeah. I'm like kind of bummed that it's like weird because obviously this is a very important thing to understand, the hypocrisy of like me. Is last year when they made they changed the format and they made COS Eternal Standard Startup, and I didn't play Startup, I played Eternal. I was like, that's weird. And now I kind of want to do it again because I had a great time playing Eternal. Now it's just standard, which is what I complained about last time. Like it's very, very silly. I had my Eternal League matches and they were both 5-turn games. Yeah. I want to have a midpoint between Eternal and Standard where you get to play some high power stuff without always having 5-turn games. Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people want that. You're a monster? Hey, Owen, that seems fun though. Throwback, but you have to log the card you pick. You can't play it at a tournament again. The thing is, like, throwback is, if you ask me, throwback doesn't do exactly what you want. Because throwback only allows you to splash the power cards, right? Like, your throwback card is going to be like Apocalypse. Yeah, or, you know, something like that, really big. But it's not going to be like my throwback is E3 feedback implants. Because that's not good enough to be your throwback card. And I think people want a format where they can play their pet cards. But, like, I can't play Geist. Because I don't have a Street Peddler, right? Or a Tech Trader, sorry. I'm just going to do this and hope that the game is fun from this point on, but I'm pretty sure the game's going to be cursed. Yeah, you get 3 throwback cards. Henry, how's it going? I think you need something like that, probably. 3 back. Throwback, but it's just 1 rules. Hey, friends, Alec, how's it going? You complained so much about Eternal last year. I know. And, like, I think it's really important to roast me about that sort of stuff. Like, understanding what, like, people complain about change. They sure do. But I complained about it. You're right, I did. That's very good. Like, I'm okay saying, yeah, I messed up. I liked it more than I thought I did. Even, like, running into Cobra Bubbles round 1, I had a great time. And I mean that. Oh, that's not good for us, I don't think. Yeah, we're probably going to lose that off-world office. For Thanksgiving. I will plug again, the Chimera is such a fun way to explore the weird corners of Eternal. The thing is, like, I want to play Chimera, and I don't think Chimera is, like... Chimera looks cool, but Chimera is not what I want it to be. Like, sorry, Chimera is not what I'm looking to solve that. Like, I've seen Chimera decks. It's like, here's your 15 assets. Like, E3 is just a bad poison vial? Sure, but that wasn't, like, the best example, but I think you kind of know what I mean. This is definitely a way a game has started before. If I fly in for Worlds to hang, I'm going to bring a bunch of old Netrunner, like ONR, or like Netrunner 2012. Chimera was a huge success at Osnats. Oh, there was a side event. Who brought the Chimera pool? Need more ONR Limited. I had really enjoyed the ONR Limited I played this year. I had a great time. So we res the Tithe. It is a Tithe. It's a Regolith Managarm. So if we just res the... I think we just res the Managarm here. Mind you, Saucy's obviously very good into Stegodon. English and French. Oh, very cool. I brought the pool. Cool. I want to play Stargate Keyhole Eater. Exactly, yeah. Or like Eaters. Like, that's the problem. It's like people just playing Stargate. Sorry, Eater and just play, what's it called? I think you trashed that. She shouldn't know that that is. She saw it a turn ago. But if she trashes that, she can't trash the Managarm. So ideally, we just put anything in the remote server. Yeah. Okay, we're both bankrupt. Here we definitely need to trash the Tithe because it is her Aesops, let alone her everything. I am your Aesops. I am your everything. Great. Oh, we can't greasing, but I'm pretty sure in the format, aggressively trashing stuff is like pretty good if you have the ice to support it for obvious reasons. Now we've set up Vovo Stegodon. That probably good. Eater's really good throwback card. Knife Eater's scary. Yeah, that's what I think. I think if people are going to play Eater, they're just going to end up playing, like, definitely going to be playing Jachinyo. I don't see any way around it. And I don't know if I want a format where that Eater Jachinyo sees like consistent play. That doesn't seem great. Smartware. Okay. We're all, oh my. How does, I guess it's not. I was going to say, how does Arissana deal with Magnet, but how does Isla deal with Magnet? I don't know what's going on here. She's going to have 1 credit. She's probably not pawning this if she hit it. Just play 1 Crisium? Yeah, I guess. I don't even think I played Crisium in Eternal, though. Knife Eater is like an MGS song. Like Metal Gear? Good old. Parisha doesn't do anything against upgrades. I guess she's going to sell that to Aesops. So she drew that off of Isla, which is like pretty rough. This is why I don't like Isla, right? Like, you spend a click to draw this instead of through your deck, just so it's 2 clicks to gain 3 with the Aesops. Meanwhile, we're going to do Luminal Jam. Draw. Don't get Bernard. Credit. Like, Isla seems so much worse than any of the other Shaper options. Crisium is good in both Throwback and Eternal, deals with Siphon. Yeah, I don't think I played one yet. Obviously, Crisium is good. I played back in the day when Crisium was really good. It was Splash, like 1 of 2 of in most decks. I just thought the format was too fast for that. It seems a bit slow. All right, vote was good. We want to get a threat. It's just a magnet. Obviously, there's a bit of fear that face checking, you can eat like a Soraka Blade or something like that. Tithe Tattoo Bowl is really nice. We're going to try and keep this magnet in hand, but I'm pretty sure if Lucille ever gets into the Tattoo Bowl, she'll bounce. And she probably doesn't have a really good incentive to interact on the basis that Stegodon stinks. It's just not fun. I don't see that much in Eternal, but I think it could be good in Ob. Okay, Tattoo Bowl. So, like, I don't know why we wouldn't res this. It drops us down to 1 credit. We can still res... Oh, no, we can't res the remote server. Like, she's clearly not doing this. Do we want to stop an Axis? I guess we do. We have a real 3-pointers. The format's slow. I think Eternal's too fast for Chrism as a general rule. Chrism also has a solid place in startup. It might, honestly. Maybe I just want to Chrism on HQ against the Shapers because they can't burner us. Now the remote server is checkable, but we know these are 2 upgrades. Her money is actually pretty good. She needs to install something here to pawn. Actually, pawning the smartware is kind of okay because it was 2 clicks for 6 credits. Like, fine. Obviously, if she just clicks it again, it's 2 clicks for 6 credits. Oh, no, then it's 3 clicks for 6 credits. Window? This seems like a lot of work. Ramen, Q-Loop, Muse, Crescenta, Saucy. This is a lot of work for a single access. Did I not make money from this? I didn't. I guess she wants to do this anyways, but yeah, it's fine. We could consider spin doctoring some stuff back in. Res Tattoo Bola? I don't think we do. I think we just overinstall the Tattoo Bola. It's a lot of work for a lot of money. Yeah, it is a bit of money, but we're going to destroy this. She knows that we drew an unsell. So what's our turn here? Like, we can just ice archives, credit. Is that too slow? This is where, like, I think Rashida is really important. Like, our next turns are going to be super sleepy. Because, like, if we have a Rashida goes on server 1 and then we actually have a play next turn, but, like, now we have to decide between clicking for credits or drawing cards. But obviously, there's an appeal for a slower format. Having 2 magnets on the table seems pretty nice. She might think that this is an unsell, but we've gone through 2 saucies already. Or, sorry, 1 saucy because it came back with a Muse. Is Grayed Out Trojan a new JNet feature? I think it's relatively new, Joe. It's in the settings to do, like, ghost stuff. I actually don't like it because it probably confuses people. But you can find it in there somewhere. It's an option. Oh, actually, I think it's in here. Display hosted Trojans and rig. Yeah, I'm going to delete that because I think it's more confusing than not for viewers who are just, like, tuning in. It's definitely useful. No one's going to say it's not useful. Like, install advance is so expensive. Credit, install, advance, credit, install, advance. This we res for 2 credits. This stinks. Like, it just slow suffering. Ablative is good with Vovo. I don't know if she'll run. I think this is slightly safer in server 1. Like, we could top deck a Seamless. We have Seamless in the deck, right? Yeah, we have 3. We could put that in top deck Seamless. Problem as soon as we do that, we have to, like, actually res it. So let's just draw and credit up here. And then next turn we can do a Ablative install maybe. And then we have a Ablative magnet. 2 types are pretty good. But, like, I don't think these turns are exciting. Especially as a corp. As a runner, you actually can do more stuff. As a corporation, it's your whole turn is jamming usually. And, like, now she's getting 3 credits every turn. I feel like we're very far behind her engine. The Saucy beat Magnet. I don't think I remember this interaction. Who beats who? I think the Saucy gets it on the D-res, but not the res. Ah, crap. I guess we're going to find out together. It's an important interaction. Cupulation? Okay, cool. So she can throw in archives with the Spin Doctor. Sending a Cupulation HQ is actually pretty reasonable. That's 2 influence? Yeah. This is why we could have considered getting the off-world out here, but I don't know if she's going to face check into this. Maybe with a Muse into a Physarum. Arissana would have got so many free... Oh, Coalescence. Okay, she's just selling this. Yeah, we can't do this. When Shaper has a click for, like, this many credits button, like... I don't think we can play like this. Get Saucy on the D-res, not the res. Okay, she can steal one of these cards. That's fine. She's doing this. We just put in the remote server. So just drops us to 3 credits. So we can do install advance and say that you can't break the magnet. That's honestly kind of fair. I don't think she has real breakers. Oh, she actually might be on Mayflies. She's probably on Mayflies. And if we do this, we're on game point. Like, this is... I don't feel like we have the ability to make plays. We don't have the ability to make plays. Our plays install credit and hope. If we do the Blade of, we're down to 3 credits. We install the Offworld, we're on 3 credits, and we probably just credit and then score the Offworld on the following turn. Like, Managram is a bit tricky. Now, Vovo means we res a Blade of for free, Magnet for 1, so we can res both of these ice. Blade of, very importantly, actually does something, so stealing the Regolith was kind of sick. We might just get another ice, though. A Blade of does install, not ignoring costs, so we actually have to pay for the ice. Okay, Pressure Spike is down. That's not good. It breaks Boto eventually pretty good. But, like, I don't know how much she's going to face check if she's worried about Stegodon. Pressure Spike eventually does, like, even with the -2, it breaks this threat for Boto. So, Unity. So, if we don't topic Seamless, we're so cooked here. Maybe she's scared that she won't face check without a Sentry Breaker. What are we meant to do? Advance credit? Like, are we gaming? She has done so much value crime on her turn. We're just clicking for basic actions on every single turn. Yikes. Hopefully she overextends and the compilation matters. Pretty Mary, I guess we're trick-shotting. Yeah, I guess we're trick-shotting. That's frustrating. We cannot keep her out. We res this Magnet for 3. Okay, thinking. So if we res this Magnet for 3, we're down to 2 credits. We res Vovo for Ablative, we're down to 3, we're down to 2 credits. Like, she actually could get kind of ruined by a Sentry here. Like, Rototurt's really good. Is there no Rototurt respect in Thunderbolt? Why is there no Rototurt respect? I assume there'd be huge Sentry respect in the deck of all AP and Destroyers. The Thunderbolt as an idea is not helping our econ in a game state. No, it's not. It doesn't do anything. And well, now it kind of does. But like none of our ice on the table besides this Tithe actually interacts with Thunderbolt, which is really funny. The thing about this is that if we res the Magnet for 3, she has to break. That costs her 1, 2, which is going to be the trick shot credits. If we don't tax out the trick shot credits, she has so much money to run this server. And this server is just not taxing. So the math comes down to whether we can make the Unity annoying, and we slightly can. But we need to also just get our ice resed for the sake of the argument. If we have 5 credits, she might respect on this remote server more sentries. Like, she knows we have an on sell. She might not have to worry about on sell, but like I think we're just gonna get rolled over, and not because of anything that we're doing, because of the lack of things we're doing, which is anything with click compression involved in it. So we res this for 3, we go down to 2 credits. We res Vovo, we're 1. We res Ablative, we're still on 1. We res Magnet. So we can res Vovo, Magnet, and Ablative, and we can bankrupt ourselves. However, we actually can get a money back by deresing the Magnet. I think we should just have more credits in our pocket. But yeah, Trick Shot does like so much more than we can possibly do in a turn. It's going to see 3 cards. We might have wanted to spin Doctor back. Okay. Yeah, that's not good for us. I'm thinking, yeah, like Rototurret would have been really quite bad there, I imagine. We'd be bankrupt though. But like, I don't see why she wouldn't run the remote server here unless she's scared of. Vovo could res on cell. She can click through it. Like I just don't. Yeah, I don't think we're playing Netrunner. Like, we are just not playing Netrunner. Like, Trickshot does so much more than anything we can do. Credits. I think getting the Regolith off might have been really important for us. We might have mismanaged that. But at this point now, we just have to sit in our soiled pants for a bit. So she's going to be on game points. Stegodon doesn't do nothing. We might have just wanted to advance this and wait until we top deck a Seamless. That actually might have been a better strat, because I don't know if she would run this until we advance this. We might have that might have been bad for us. But if we res the Ablative, we can install something. She knows the next 2 cards on R&D unless we shuffle, so she doesn't have a real reason to run that. A blade has to go on a different server. So we can put a Spin Doctor on the table. Her stealing the Regolith is pretty mean. I don't think we res any of this stuff. Well, if we do res this, she just uses all this trick shot money. I think we just let this go. This sucks. This is really bad. At least here, if we don't res anything, we can play like a hedge fund off the top. If you're going to res, Vovo res, yeah, 100%, but I don't think we're going to res. Too bad no Rashida threat with the Blade of. Yeah, exactly. Like, regular threat would have been something. But I don't know. I don't know if there's a sentry here that she should be scared of. I was messing about, and boy, Admin is 3 to install. Boy, howdy's that a lot. I don't know. Back in the day, we played a lot of Admin. Admin's not that bad. The fact that it's 3 to install is something, and then you pay more, of course. I don't think there's any way to install it during a run. Like back in the day, we installed it with things like overclock equivalents, like StimHack, but I guess you can't do that in this format. That makes it a lot cheaper, of course. Like our decks are on different planets. Our race is magnet ablative. Yeah, rigging up Admin is pretty cool. It's not in the format. Like, what are we meant to be doing? That's our turn? She knows we drew that too. I was thinking standard. In standard, you can do it. You can do like trick shot. You can overclock. Admin is much more manageable. However, I think Admin's overall probably not that great comparative to the breaker suites you could make, let alone to the fact that a virus is an issue. Like, I think you can count on Leech a bit more in this format because there's no surprise purges mid-run. Just because 2-4-6 covers most things. Often you do 0-2-4. I don't think actually 6 is that relevant in standard unless there's certain matchups in which you'll see it coming. Like 6 is super good into the outfit. But a lot of times you'll do 0. It depends on the ISO. There's some decks, like I think you can do 1 for many of these things. Fatman Shaper takes that would be sick. Like as a standard ID, I think it's probably doable in startup. It's a fun deck. For Jadeki Glacier, you can set it to 2-5. You need to do 1, Joe, because you need to be able to break Tattoo Bolas and border controls. That deck also is like, that's a cool thing about Botu is that like it's kind of cool into Admin because 4-6. But yeah, 6 for Braun and Botu matters. Someone remind me to try that build on Thursday. Admin Shaper taking Worlds. Oh, it takes Worlds. That'd be so cool. Admin is a card that is way better than the amount of play it's seen over the last, like, since system updates come out. Like, the card is genuinely good, but nobody has played it since system update. It's a magnet. That's great. I think we'll just get rid of this. Managarm, Greasing. Like, we do nothing. This is way too sleepy. Was there any thought to resing Ablative to install over your agenda? It's Bassoon. We would have if we could, but Ablative always says a different server. So you can never use Ablative to interact with the server that's being run on, which is for the best. Yeah. So Lucille might just, like, I don't know how to, like, I know I've said before I want to concede, but I want to concede here because maybe her money will just run out. Maybe that's fine. Like at some point she might mismanage her economy. But like there's 2 more trick shots, burners. Like I don't know what we're meant to do. All the breakers are down. I also do think, right, like if this breaker suite was on Leech and the Big Sprinks, I'd be more scared. Another server, yeah. Unless you're in Atea. Yeah, you're right. With Atea, you can do some cool tricks. That is very true. I'm messing with an RE deck. It seems like it has some potential, but it requires a good deck build to get beyond an idea. Super not in standard or in startup? How's it going, by the way, Bassoon? Verbal, slow. Like, I think your Lucio just needs to draw into deep dive. Like, 1 deep dive, 1 cataloger, any sort of multi-action she wins. But I also do think the problem with this format, and it's only slightly different in standard, is that because there's no threats to put in a remote server that are not advanced, I think something we noticed in the last game, and last 2 games that we're going to notice today, is that it's going to fall apart a bit, where Lucille doesn't have to do anything until we advance a card in server 1. Now, Seamless Launch obviously changes that math, but seamless launch, maybe it sees wide play. I don't know if it does in startup. It probably does. It's just like there's not a lot of things you can put in remote servers you can advance. Maybe it's up to corp decks builders to do that. Deep dive not startup legal? No, it's not. But I'm assuming she's just gonna send it centrals and do a trick shot or something. Like, I guess. Actually, we should probably keep a spin doctor in the bin. Can I undo that? I can't undo that. Hold on. I'm fixing this. Just gonna trash it. Stand where the admin's like a cut down a small program list, so maybe I drop DZMZ. Ooh, wait, we only had one click? Oh no, we should have another click. That's the load bearing regolith. Yeah, it's not great. And also I think like one of the frustrations is that Lucille probably doesn't want to run here because of Stegodon. Like you don't want to run for fun. But I think she can just sit back and play Euro board game for the next 4 to 5 turns until we do install. Maybe install advance. Maybe we actually didn't want to res the regolith to see if she interacts, but obviously this server costs like 3 credits to run. Okay. Load bearing regolith is how you know a deck might have an issue or two. I think it's just like a feature of startup, but also there are good standard decks that have regoliths that are very important to them. It's just startup. Yeah, but there are standard decks that have load bearing regoliths, and I don't think it's actually that big of a problem. Like Thule loves his regoliths. Some NAH decks love their regoliths. Some of those decks are important. Those decks don't need all the money. They just need enough money. No, you're fine. All good. But yeah. I don't know. I probably shouldn't play Thunderbolt, but this is not firing any neurons for me. Regolith has been load bearing for PD and rush up. Oh yeah, man. If your rush up Regolith gets pinholed, you're so cooked. So bad when it gets pinholed. PD, yeah, one Regolith I can see in PD. I know people do it. Oh, it's smart we did leave. I feel like we're playing 2 different games. Like, look at this board state. Like, the only thing that this needs is a turbine. And we're out here drawing our third magnet at some point. Okay. A copulation is meant to be threatening. It will be eventually. Okay, we've finally found the seamless launches. Onsell needs to go on the remote server at some point because it is annoying. It gets +1 strength. We have to remember that. Boto doesn't have relevant text against pressure spike. I'll put the Blade on. And then I'll put the Onsell on server 1. That might be an overextension. I don't think we need 3 seamlesses. Hey Shelby, I just want to say I recently started Netrunner. Your channel's been so much fun to watch. Hey, thanks for the kind words. Welcome to the game. Hopefully you're having a great time. I don't know if you've been playing standard or startup or how you're getting into it, but thanks for the kind words. There's a lot of folks getting to the game. It's a really exciting time. Glad you've been appreciating it. We've been pretty good on putting on video stuff as of recent. I feel like I need to do commentary next week or I'm gonna fall behind. Roll 6? Wait, why would you roll a die here? To choose which trick shot to play? You have 6 of them? Oh, to choose the ice. That's fine. Oh, we have 9 credits? Why did we do this? We definitely should have not installed that on cell. We should have thrown out the magnet. We should have hit regolith one more time. The thing is, like, at the end of the day, we just can't stop a trick shot. Like, the trick shot is just going to connect. Like, whether we can res the blade over the Boto doesn't change the trick shot. There was 6 ice. It was full random. Leech? Yeah, we're so cooked. And unfortunately, I do think Stegodon means she doesn't want to run a lot. Last click run? I guess there's no Aqua in the format. Why the hell not? Well, because of Blade of, that's why not. So the minimum we res the Blade up to get the Vovo. That seems kind of cool. Krajuki, playing Startup this week. Appreciate it. Hey, welcome. Glad you've been enjoying it. I'm struggling right now. This is not a fun corp deck. And we are just getting like rolled by Shaper. And punished, it's fine. It seems fine. The other option is to go for the Spin Doctor to shuffle 2 cards back, but it doesn't do anything. To be fair, that's standard too. Yeah, but in standard, the Corp deck feels like it can do something. Like, Pinpoint in the last 14 turns when we made a play. I think turn 1 and turn 2 we did. Since then, we haven't made what I would describe as a play. God, Saucy's messed up. Gain 3? That's how much it costs to break this thing. I'm gonna do it. Rashida that's res on Corp turn only could be cool. Yeah, I think Tron, we might see more stuff like that. Rashida, this shows where it is. I do think I don't even know what the subtype for that is called, because there is a name subtype for priority, not priority, but like daily quest. It's cool. A power down drafter and ablative. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's actually really cool too, because if you install it mid-turn, it doesn't do anything. Yeah. Fire all? Oh, net damage? Sure. Oh, there's another subroutine on it. What does she do? She trashed the smartware. Her smartware's worth 3 credits. She could have broken it for 1 credit. Instead, she trashed a card for 3 credits. But every card is worth 3 credits. It seems strange. Right? Like, as soon as you have an Aesop's down, the 1 credit, because this is the Thunderbolt subroutine, right? You probably should break it. Maybe the idea is that you have something to pawn shop next turn, but the game's going to go long enough for sure. Okay, now we can re-res. We can de-res the Boto over and over again for Saucy's sake. Crap. How have the games been? We've had some fun times on the runner side. I'm getting like a bit salty because I'm playing Thunderbolt and it's like not great. But I've had a good time playing runner today so far. Pat had to duck out. I got all of Startup, Shelby says, and already looking through the entire format. I think I'm already looking forward to playing Standard. I've been wanting to play Netrunner for like 8 years. Yo, 8 years it took you to get here. Okay, well, I don't think you're going to look back and be like, oh, I could have got here. Maybe you will, actually. I don't want to make guilt you, but I'm just saying the game is as good as I'm trying to say. But yes, Standard is pretty sick. Standard is very, very, very great. The card pool is bigger than it seems, if you ask me, because not a lot of the cards in some of the FFG old cycles actually see that much consistent play, but Startup is great. And there's a lot of content out for Startup. That's the unfortunate thing about Startup is like it's the new player format, but there's just not enough new player content. I'm getting salty because I'm playing Thunderbolt. I actually enjoyed playing Thunderbolt last I played Thunderbolt in Standard. Like I actually went back and made another Thunderbolt deck because I'm like, this is cool. Okay. Haha, icebreakers went down. That's very funny now. Because of this window opportunity, Pressure Spike now has to pay extra money. Yeah, if I give you Stego, yeah, it's really funny. Like, I'm gonna re-res the boat. Nah, I'm gonna have to re-res it anyways. Do I want to pay 6? I don't know. I feel like Lucia's just gonna camp here. Clearly, I don't think she has yet another trick shot, but there's like 6 more cards. Oh, yeah, probably. Unfortunately, it doesn't change the math on breaking Boto with Pressure Spike. So it like kind of breaks even. It makes me want to res this now though. So it actually might be cheaper because I'm incentivized to res this sooner. It's 4:20 a.m. Oh man, it's late. Like we can't afford to re-res this thing. That's the problem. Can we? We go on to 4. Lucille has to pay. Actually, no, we should res it. It costs us 6 credits. She's going to get 3 no matter what. Hey, Medi. Actually, I might res. The thing is, like, it will become 7 strength, so she boosts 2 to 9 and then has to break some amount of subroutines. I probably think I could res this. Like, we need her to overextend grossly. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, okay, I'll res it. Whatever, the Volvo's doing a lot of work in the remote server. What you said about the not being many NSG precon lists, I think is super right. It's hard to know where to start with building. I agree. I think it's something that we'll look at. Personally, we can make some precon lists. Cool. So I think this actually ended up costing her more than us. Now, the Prisha did come down. She's seeing the top of the deck. But I think at some point the trick shot should just connect. I also do think like scoring behind ice in any deck in this format where you don't have like you kind of need Anoetic or like Adrian. I just don't know how you can score behind ice if the runner just like clicks for credits. Okay, so she knows what we're top decking. We've emptied a Regolith. Like we don't have a play again. We don't have a play. Credit hedge fund. Like that's the start of it. I wish we had something to put in the remote server. Some of this is also like not understanding how to deck build for the format where like there's a Rashida sized hole in these decks that I don't know how to fill just yet. Like the cupulation, like I think the best thing we can do is flounder and hope that she commits the cupulation. That'd be good. We could consider icing HQ. It does cost us money though. Another ice on R&D doesn't really matter. The magnet is like very expensive. It's like 5 credits. And the problem is like, again, with Stegodon, she is incentivized just to tunnel R&D. So Stegodon doesn't do anything. Because as soon as she runs this remote server, we de-res the Blade of Barrier. And that's a problem. And triple seamless into mandatory upgrades. I'm getting a Jumon. Let's go. You always seamless the Boba. You'll never see it coming. Well, seamless the ice, right? And get some big tree lines. Yeah, ice is rough. Imp? Okay, she's going to go HQ. Look, Shaper can spend so much influence on all this like nonsense. Cupulation imp. This is 3 influence. The Lat versus Jateki PE game you cast over the can tourney was super fun to watch. The Lat list I think was exactly what I wanted to play. That is an archetype that is like very old and enduring. The sort of like Aesop's Pawn Shop install runner, which is something that like Erin, she's been playing for a long time, Shoe Flower. So it was really cool to see. Both of those were like kind of old school matchups, which is really fun. We definitely lose to this, right? There's 11 and 22 cards, so almost 1 agenda per point per card. No, is that right? No, half? Whatever. We probably lose. She sees 3 cards with Pretty Mary. I don't know how we don't lose. Yeah, maybe we just need to have more card draw because we're just sitting here waiting. Cool. This is the gameplay Stegodon creates. I'd argue that Stegodon's not actually contributing that much to it. We just don't have anything to put in the remote server. But yeah, there's literally no way we can win that game. That is like the worst case of having an underpowered corporation where you just don't do anything and you hope that you're like you hope ice wins and ice doesn't win when the runner might have a better economy and just a much more efficient setup than you do. Yeah, that was rough. That was really rough. Yeah, I think Isla might be the worst part. I'm not gonna write that. Yeah, I don't have a chance to win against this. I think the only way I sneak a win is if you don't respect Rototurret, which you didn't, but I don't have one. Yeah, I don't know. That's like very much not the Netrunner I enjoy. I think I need to delete this Thunderbolt deck. Maybe we'll try another one, but like, yeah, that's not it. Yeah, exactly. I don't think I have a game plan. It's just Anoetic Managarm. Yeah, I just don't think there's a game plan here. What's your bad ice? Remote was magnet ablative to a trick shot. It's useless. Yeah. And MIC would have been not that much better. I don't know. Stego doesn't actually do anything. Doesn't actually do anything when you're on threat 4. That's I can't afford that, and I don't think that wins. Why do you think Creative Commission got banned from startup? Just because Shaper already had great resources? At a glance, it almost seems like it hurts Crimson and Anarch splashes more. I think, Shelby, right now Shaper seems like miles ahead of anything else in the format, and just because the format has a small card pool, and Rebellion Without Rehearsal specifically has some of the best Shaper cards of all time, and then like not some really good cards for the other runner sets. So they need to make a ban that targets specifically Shaper in some generic way that pulls down every single Shaper, as opposed to like pulling out one Shaper sub strategy. I do think you're right though, like it hurts everybody. I do think a lot of people splash for that sort of stuff, and like that's a bummer, but there's other ways around it. Yeah, I don't like res Cloud Eater as being the strategy. Like I'm gonna res a big sentry and you're gonna face check into it a way that blows you out. Like I don't think that is interesting, nor that should that happen. Right? Like we don't care. We do care about tags. We have greasing, but I don't know. I don't like face checking into ice being a win condition of any deck in any format. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You just Fazzarum it, right? Doesn't Ari just Fazzarum it? Like I don't get it. Streaming open, Lucille, good game. Yeah, this one made me really salty. Unfortunately, like just none of this was fun, and not anything to do with like you. It's just like this so what you did per turn per click is like leagues ahead of what we could have possibly done, and I think inherently our deck is just ice, and that doesn't win. So in startup, face check into ice can be a win condition because it's 2013 Netrunner. It wasn't in 2013 Netrunner a win condition, and it shouldn't be a win condition. I don't think the speed at which I can go requires you to take risky face checks. And I think that like kind of showed in the last games that we played, is that the corporation, unless you're doing something better than this, the speed of the game is so slow that you do not need to face check. And specifically in the format where you have like Muse into Fazzarum potentially, as much as card draw seems to be limiting the consistency of that play, I don't think there's a face check that's that bad. Like having face checks being the win condition is not something that I think makes sense. Like I don't think you have to do anything, right? Like you don't actually have to run until I install advanced in a remote server. Well, Seamless is a bit different. The lack of card draw is the ultimate limiter in format. Yeah, it's like, does the runner get impatient? Like I think it comes down to is like, does the runner make a mistake by face checking when they don't need to? What is in hand? I was expecting something in there. I thought if you were expecting something there, you would have ran it with cupellation. But the thing is, like, I don't think you need to do cupellation. I don't think you need to make singles on R&D. Like, I think on the last turn when you made a single on R&D, you don't. You just wait for a trick shot because you only have to trick shot every couple turns because you see 3 cards, and there's no way I beat trick shot. Like, I can't win the game. I don't know if you're in Conduit. I doubt you are. The imp is like kind of just extra on the cake, but yeah, I have no way of recovering. Like, unless I can just chain 3 agendas in a row, which is like a PD thing, right? I'll do another one, but I don't. Yeah, I don't know. That is, I think when I played PD on Tuesday and I had Anoetic Managarm, I felt like I actually could do something. Imp is a relic of the deck turn to try and contest old puny decks. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I think you do need imp in that. If burner's not enough, right? Start it. Let's do one more. Hey, Mondi. Hey, Mondi. What you want to play against? I just played twice against Shaper, feels like. No, maybe only once. I do think the other IDs probably have to face check a bit more. I don't think Shaper does. That might actually be true. Like, I feel like Criminal has to face check unless they're inside jobbing. Like, I also don't know who would be inside job. Like Melandregim, you can just face check into most things, I guess. I don't even know what you're worried about. Like, what's the bad face check in the format? Do we need Don? Do we need Sarson Don? I don't know. I don't know what the worst face check in the format is. Cool. See a criminal. Cool, Zaya. I think Zaya can be quite okay. I'm worried about Leech, Fixed Strength Breaker, Zaya. I do think just getting the cheapest runs on central servers is a really good thing to do with Zaya, so I believe Fixed Strength Breakers and Leech. This opening hand's not really great. I'm assuming because the card pool is really small too, you're going to be playing against 3 of Inside Jobs in most decks. Maybe even Estebrado makes sense in Zaya if you want to send it centrals and like hit a Dawkins Pass or something like that. Sure says startup legal. I'm going to mulligan. Thanks, you too. All right, that's a much better hand. So we just want to keep Zaya out of centrals because if Zaya can't get into centrals, Zaya can't do Zaya stuff. The other option here is to ice up just HQ. Mondi, they're probably going to send it in with like a jail. I think a jailbreak R&D is like a really, really, really good start for Zaya. So obviously Regolith is important. I think we need to do Regolith behind a Magnet. I think we're just going to do double centrals. We got to get this down sooner than later anyways. Funny enough, if you do this first. Also, I think Sneak Door Beta might make an appearance. I think Sneak Door Beta is pretty sick. But I think eventually we'll res the Vovo, slide it over, and get the Regolith behind the Botu. Ooh, face checks again. I don't think you're scared of the face checks on the sentries, just forcing our money where our mouth is. Luckily, we can res these in this order. I feel like I haven't seen a lot of Reality Plus lists. The ability seems quite strong. Getting to draw so many cards seems great. A lot of times people more use it for the credits, Shelby. I think with your digital life, you consider not using it for credits. I'm going to just keep Mondi out. But we played against Ba last on Tuesday, and Ba was playing like a Fast Events Reality Plus deck. I think Reality Plus is going to be quite powerful. I think that in the format, there's not a lot of great ways to interact with tags on a positive way. That their ice is just pretty good on face check, and overall oppo is just hard to do. Like if you can afford to pay 5 credits to give a runner 4 tags in this format, that is disastrous because they cannot spend 8 credits. I don't think. I think Reality Plus might be quite good. It's really good in standard. I don't think the smaller card pool hurts it that much. You still have Behold. You still have the 3/1 agenda. I don't know the name of. Earthrise. Okay, very not great economical start. We have a second Vovo, so we need to put the Regolith in a remote server. Even if we put the Regolith on the table and just click for credits, like it's kind of tricky, but like we have to take a turn off here. We res Botu for 4 credits when we move the Vovo over, so we can do credit Vovo. In theory, I should move Vovo on R&D. Actually, I want to move Vovo onto R&D. Yeah, because of Sneak Door Beta. It's probably strictly right to put on R&D because if Mondi Inside Jobs HQ, it's another card. They access. Is it? Yeah, they access it, don't they? Yeah, so it triggers Zaya. You do lose end of line. Yeah, I think you have to win off of like, I don't think you win off damage. I think you win off of like Mindscaping is hard to win off of. I think you have to win off like Psychographics. No, there must be a better tag win condition. There probably isn't, but there could be. Archive Memories is legal. It is, yeah, but there's no like tag punishment. You could do like, yeah, you're right. Actually, you could do Mindscaping, Archive Mindscaping if they float a lot. But I think just like doing fast advance. Like B1001 is probably fine. Also notably, like if you want to spend some influence, I think Amaze Amusements is really good in that format because clearing tags is really hard. But I think if you do fast events and you can play, oh, I guess we're getting a breaker down. Excuse me. You can play B1001 and you actually can play Brasilia, so you can de-res pings. Like I think you can actually make something that's a bit annoying. But Brasilia ping might be something. Oh wow, Shibboleth is really good. Oh, it's a knife deck. Of course it is. Yeah, it's you do play Greasing. I do think you do. I think that's exactly what Bob was doing, is playing Greasing and playing also Greasing is really good with Sudden Commandment because it's just free value. Okay, it's a knife deck. That's a really good draw. We just need to keep one server iced up. Wizard Chest means is the knife deck. That is the alternate win condition runners have. Not sure how it's gonna feel. Wizard Chest does a lot of work in this format where you don't have to draw into your knives because drawing seems like a struggle. Or recently I dropped Magic and switching over to Netrunner. Card draw in this game is very different to evaluate. Yeah, card draw in this game is, it's like, I love that when you get a Magic player into this game and they understand like I can click to draw cards. Like it's so wild. I'm surprised no Rego install. Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, we could have put it on the table. Yeah, you're right. I don't think Mondi, they're going to run it. That's a good point. I don't think they can afford to run it. We could just put it on the table. I was going to put the Botu in front of it. But I don't know if we need to. Unusual to see knife out of Zaya. It's almost in Steve. I could see it in Zaya because you have 5 fewer cards. Why do you need in Steve? Because of damage? Like, can't you just get it back with prevention? Cool. 4 credit runs, pretty good. I'm also not playing it, but I do think Corporate Troubleshooter is probably pretty good in this format. You can recur wizard chests. Oh, that's kind of sick. Okay, now we need ice up archives. Well, I guess we will. I'm going to keep the Boto in hand, but I'm not going to swap the Tatubola with the Boto. We could consider drawing there. Oh, wait. No, we shouldn't do that because then Mondi, they can call it as a remote server to run. Played a few knife games. The deck seems quite silly. It's not that bad. They only need a natural draw 1 knife. How have I not considered that? That's really cool. I think putting this on archives makes the most sense, but Mondi's not going to run it on archives. No, Mondi's more likely to run HQ, so I'll keep it here. There's some respect here again. We're meant to be screaming destroyers and APs. So face checking once you install the shibboleth is a bit more tentative. Still in archives, okay. If we did put the Boto on the table, I don't know if Mondi will run it with sec testing. Okay. Mondi saw this off the top. Get out. We definitely just need to land this regolith. This is going to be like a 24 turn game. No problem. We're luckily not flooding, which like, that's good. A greasing would be a really nice top deck. Even a hedge fund would be fine. We probably should get a nice on R&D sooner than later. Hermes, okay. Luckily, most of our stuff res. Dirty Laundry, last click into R&D. Don't have to worry about Iqua. Yeah, we definitely want to get a nice here. Bouncing the Tattoo Bull is annoying. And there's actually a lot of agendas in here. Getting the Boto on the table also kind of matters because we have send a messages in the deck. Okay, but Mondi knows what we're drawing into. I mean, we're going to put that on R&D. When do we lose to like a Debrado? Yeah, there's so many agendas in R&D. We probably should do this. What a sleepy game. I can't. I have scary eyes. It must be run into. Pay for credits like it's 2012. Yeah. And this is deterring me. Successful. Good. All right. Mondi needs to draw, which means if Mondi spends 4 clicks drawing here, it's like kind of reasonable. Prepaid. Okay. We have seen 2 dirty laundries using no sure gambles. There might be window of opportunities. Install click 2 is a platonic ideal of a startup turn. Yeah. Yeah, it's not it's not great for me. That just forces another breaker. I know it has text. Maybe we'll score a Stegodon and we'll get the text back aligned. This is a free res. Great. Now we're totally bulletproof to Hermes. I honestly don't know if that run on HQ was great because it does a lot of work against Hermes. And Mondi knows what to get in here. Estebrado needs a bit threat. There's a knife, no surprise. First one on the table. VR-cation, sick. Yeah, it's a good carved hand for that. That's actually kind of cool. So we res this for 4. So we do Boto, credit regolith. We are perfect. Well, I would say perfect. Because the Boto like ruins us. It's 7 strength. It has another 17. It's a shame that we're putting our best dice here, but at least we still have something for Tattoo Bola to swap. Psych testing archives, great. This is where like the Shaper deck would be able to break most of the dice for a credit a pop at this point in the game. Shibboleth obviously is great for us. Threat 4 might not matter against a knife deck, but we definitely want Monty to spend a lot of money breaking. Oh, okay, that's a good start. Ooh. 5 strength Boto, 4 subroutines. Gonna take some of that damage. Now we are bankrupt. But big fish. We do have to give a card from hand. So we hit a Carmen and a VR-cation. I can't ask for better than that, I don't think. If Monty gets in, Monty has only 2 credits. Which means we actually could let the run through. If Monty trashes the Vovo... No, you're fine. We're not trashing this. Startups I will never finish regardless format. Yeah, it is kind of cool though that like everybody trades those feelings. They'll be like, oh, that's really bad for me. Oh, that's really bad for me. That's kind of exciting. But yes, every play is like back-breaking expense. Like if you don't land a Regolith in a reg deck, like that's what the Regolith stands for. The reg and reg deck stands for Regolith is what I'm trying to say. Come on down. Oh, and there's install a trash card. Yeah, great. I forgot we had that subroutine, so we don't actually have to trash cards from hand. We're assuming that's going to hold. That's really tempting. Oh, yeah, Monty trashed it. That's really tempting. So Monty bit. Even reg runner decks, Regolith runners. All right, so Monty trashed the Vovo, which is fine. We have another one, but the Regolith stays 1 credit up. That's a really cool interaction to see which of the subroutines on Voto actually end up ending the run. I'm happy if Monty trashes the Vovo here. We've rezzed all our ice. We have a second in hand. Now, next turn we do credit Regolith, which means we're on 1 credit. It might make more sense to just click for 3 credits. No, it doesn't. No, I thought about it. It doesn't. We don't actually have a way to spend money. Getting the on-sell on the table is going to be important. That's the next thing that happens. And when that happens, the game is cooked. Okay, so hear me out. Is Monty going to trash this? Because if we res this and take 3 off of it, we're down to 1 credit, but the Regolith is deeper. This loses to Monty inside jobbing this. I don't think that's going to happen. But in theory, if like Monty makes money inside jobs with trash a Regolith, like we're better off. No, it's the same. It's the same. I don't know why I thought so much of that. We're on 3 credits no matter what. This is the same. That's fine. At this point, Monty thinks we have 2 agendas in hand. We've drawn through 12 cards. It's accurate. You're just gonna have to lose the 2 at some point, just res it. Yeah, but I'd rather not lose the 2 if Monty trashes it, but it doesn't make any sense. No matter what, we're on 3 credits. I think we won't swap this Tattoo Bowler with the Onsell. We'll put the Onsell on HQ. Onsell into Magnets are good, great server. We know 1 Carmen went down, and Carmen breaks Onsell for like 5 anyways, unless you want to let the subroutine fire. And you can let the last subroutine fire if you're going for the knife. But next turn, boy, are we back in it. Good old turn 8 at the turning point of your early game. Ah. What I'm noticing too, and obviously part of it is I'm getting late. Oh, you see, Monty's going for it. What? Are they just taking the damage? Look at the weakness leaving their hand. Trash a card from HQ. Okay. I mean, yeah. Yeah. That Regolith is important. Can you do it again? No, you flatline. So I'm realizing too, like when we play standard, obviously the game moves faster. There's more, it's easier for me to like narrate to commentate the game. Because there's more going on quicker. And there's more threats maybe to worry about. Alarm clock. Rutrow. That's cool. That's the 1 card that could have got lost to damage. Sick. So Tattoo Bola gets swapped for an on-sell, so we don't have to do anything. So we could do Regolith, and then the question is will we jam the Stegodon or not? If we jam the Stegodon's in here. And then the Stegodon is in here. Gotta fill the empty air with stories. Ice Essential. That's what the bolas are for. So like I could see us putting the Stegodon in there, but I also could see us having 6 more credits. Monty could top deck Inside Job. Yeah, I think I'll just play it slow. 50-50. We don't get blown out by Hermes. If Monty spends most of their turn like double clicking through Tattoo Bullet to get an on-sell on the table, like fine. Admittedly, then it could get bounced to Hermes, but that is how it'd be sometimes. Sec testing archives. Kurapira can farm archives, notably. Like, you get the Kurapira counter, which is very valuable. Like, the Tattoo Bullets are a bit of a liability into Kurapira. We need to keep that in mind. That, like, farming HQ is fine. Now, double-clicking through this Tattoo Bullet doesn't make actually a lot of sense when Alarm Clock is 2 clicks for credit. So, I'm not sure why we're too scared of it. But here, we probably want to top deck an Ice and just put it here. A Tithe will be great. Just a Tithe here. Just one Tithe, top deck Tithe, install Stegodon, Tithe. And then we start like slipping backwards because Hermes starts pulling apart our Stegodon deck that we keep like de-resing our own board state. Just collapses inwards on its own strength. These breakers get ruined by Stegodon. Tithe. Even better than Tithe. Much better than Tithe. Or do the agenda first. Nobody expects that. So Mondi ejected a knife. And like one thing we have to calibrate is how much Mondi wants us to not win versus how much they want to access versus how much they just want to get the knife in. It looks like we're just getting a knife in. Now you can just use breakers during this run. Yeah, it's just a normal ass run. Okay, money's good. Now the don't get sick. That's always the one you access. It's always the Tattoo Bullet you access. Zai gets one. Okay, archives you can flop, flip flop. We need to get this Tattoo Bullet out of the game. All our barriers being low barriers is not great into Kurapira. Again, I think if Mondi was on Cleaver, this would be much easier for them. Dirty Laundry as well. Very good. Okay, 300 credits. Actually, we might have not wanted to swap and just have a Stegodon fuel. We need to de-res as ablative as soon as possible. Mondi can get a knife in here for sure. Yeah, actually, Mondi definitely gets a knife in here and gets a Kurapira to 3. Like, Mondi can also charge the remote server. What the hell is going on? Wait, we're getting destroyed. Mondi has 5 credits and a charged Kurapira? We're getting Oh, no, please. It's been 10 turns. I'm trying to do something here. Oh, that's fine. Wizard chest? What are we getting? A knife? Wizard chest? Yeah, okay. There's a lot of hardware in this list, actually. Okay, we got to see the whole deck. It has forged activation orders and inside jobs. No surprise. Okay, 1 knife goes in. Is Mondi going to go for the remote server? No, okay, we're fine. Could have gone worse. Could have gone worse. I don't know why Mondi didn't bounce this. This is like a bigger issue for them. Okay, I'm going to Seamless just to have a click back. Because now we got to be annoying. I'm assuming that they'll bounce the Tattoo Bola. Otherwise, we could res the Managarm. I don't think we want to show that. Yeah, great. So now we just need to keep them out of 1 server. HQ seems relatively safe. We're not worried about E shutdown. The Kurapira is absolutely cursed. I think putting the onsell on HQ is fine. Pre-res the Skunk. I think, Alex, that it's very likely that Mondi will bounce the Archives Ice. I don't think we need to. Okay, so now we have to think. Tattoo Bola, Kurapira is a problem. Botus are just getting eaten. That's not great. So we need to get something taxing on the table. Tithe is pretty good. I think onsell is also fine. It means that if Mondi is double clicking through the onsell, it actually might be better to put the Tithe here, onsell and archives. Actually, yeah, in hindsight it is, because then Mondi actually has to deal with the onsell. Choose a piece of ice to de-res, yeah. Yeah, the Tithe here would have been a bit annoying, where if like Mondi double clicks through a Tithe, like who's laughing? But now, yeah, really like Stegodon opens up this play pattern. Icebreakers, Magnet costs a lot. That's a big magnet. Oops. Magnet costs 3. Yay, Stegodon. Oh, so much fun. Stegodon. Not the 1 in 4. Always the tattoo bola. Admittedly, they know there's 2 in there. We need ice up archives. We'll just get a tithe on there. It's fine. And now the Blade is kind of threatening because obviously we're not on threat. Actually, it's not threatening. We just won't res it. So we'll just put a tithe on there. Alarm clock is the first time you encounter a piece of ice, so we can just get another ace on there and then hunker down. We definitely need to hunker down. We're 2 knives away from death. The other option now is like we have to get the Kurapir taxed out somehow, and I honestly don't know how. Monty's doing good, like being this aggressive without a killer, and we saw 1 Carmen hit the bin. We should check the log whether there was another Carmen to be seen. Do you see a Carmen in here? There's a Debbie. There's Estebrados. Like that's just gonna be a problem. There's Forged. There's no E shutdown. No, Forged. Forged is good against Thunderbolt. It turns out the Thunderbolt the D sort of. Okay, a Boto on archives is totally fine. I wake up in the middle of the night to tune the Metropole and you're playing Stegodon. But it's startup. There's like 6 cards you can play. One of them is Stegodon. How you doing? How was your startup? I saw a bunch of it. This goes here. This goes here. Ideally, we could put the Stegodon on the remote server. We want another ice for that. We'll just do something like this. Scorpio's pretty good. Choose an ice to D-res. Eh. So you can only bypass the tithe. Mind you, tithe has now 3 subroutines. So it does soft end the run unless you trash one of your cards. There might be an assumption that Boto is and now now the idea of if Monty runs R&D or runs archives, we de-res the tithe. Because the tithe re-resing this over and over again to give it a 3rd subroutine is like kind of sick. And it's largely free. Largely, besides the Hermes problems. So double clicking through tithe, wild, huh? I never went to bed and True Celebration started. We oh, Lucille, no, I'm gonna regret this in my 9 a.m. meeting. It's in like 4 hours. So the face check on the tithe was so bad that Monty did not want to spend 2 clicks to protect 1 card in hand. What is their hand? We've seen inside jobs. We've seen Debrados. Those only work on centrals. But inside job, let alone like inside job, Kurapira gets to the remote server. Oh. This will force the Kurapira out, I'm assuming. And we're just going to re-res, de-res the tithe all the time. So I'm assuming Monty will use the Kurapira here, which is good because then we actually have a remote server. Yeah, great. Feels okay. That's good. So we can do Hedge Fund, Tattoo Bola, Stegodon, and Server 2 and just make this game absolutely miserable. I'm down with that. Second Stegodon into this Breaker Suite is probably bad. It also skirts Threat 4 for a minute. And Threat 4 is really important for Estebrado. Threat 3 is also important for Shibboleth, but I think the Stegos are going to do enough work. And they can work on different triggers, right? Like you don't have to do them all in one run. Our ice is pretty good into Hermes. Obviously, we know the game is an R&D, but Monty knows that this is an ablative. Here it actually is interesting. Like Stegodon gets the worst. Like the best thing you do against Stegodon is tunnel, and unfortunately, Monty they have to run everything. Like they have to anti-tunnel. Okay, security testing R&D is good for us because it means I won't fire off of R&D. We know obviously there's a lot of points in R&D. We could consider de-resing the magnet. Isn't there a knife in the heap? Threat 3 is a very important breakpoint. Oh, the knife is threat 3? I thought the knife was threat 4. Yeah, the knife is threat 3. So that I think Monty's going to hold the inside jobs until then. So we can de-res the magnet. I think that's fair. We're running out of things to de-res. This ablative we don't res because of Kurapira. Actually, it costs Kurapira 3 credits, but we're not on threat. But I don't think it matters. Actually, might want to res. Obviously, ablative doesn't fire, but it actually costs Monty 3 credits, and then it gives us another thing to de-res. I'm just gonna res it. I'm gonna just res it. Sorry about that. Right, like we just need things to derez, and this is obviously a cheap derez. The fact that they're not threatening an axis is really good for us on the basis that like Hermes is a problem. But yeah, with Kurapira, you actually have to pay 3 credits for a counter. You probably just bounce because you can't pay 3 for this, 3 for this. No, it's all good. It was totally me. Yeah, because now it's 6 to gain 2. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So I don't know if you pay 3 for a Kurapira counter when you can just run back and pay 1 if you really wanted to. So like that's a problem sometimes with Stegodon and end the runs is like you can just bounce and come back. It's actually saves Mondi like 4 credits to just bounce and go back. Evening, Chief. Hey, Scratch. I don't know. I thanked you already, but my wife and I really dove into Standard. Thanks for the 2 deck recommendations. We're in the deep end now, baby. Yeah, you did say. Glad you've been enjoying it. You know, you commented on the startup list update video. I'm glad that y'all are having a great time doing it. This is already really expensive. Hold on. Now, Mondi has 2 clicks. I'll res. Because now it's 1 for this. We get the swap. And then it's a lot for that. They might have this. Thank you for the startup content. I know it's one of the ones. Happy to see more content. Love your work. Cheers. Yeah, we're doing some startup right now, mind you. Startup week is coming to a close. I'm gonna feel bittersweet about that. We might play some more startup in the future, but Worlds is coming up as well. So Monty has exactly, I think, enough money here. I wonder if ever de-risking the Boto makes any sense. It probably doesn't. But this Boto is expensive. We have 1 card in hand. Mondi knows it's the Tattoo Bola. So pay 6. So they exactly have 2 clicks. So they can steal the Stegodon, which is upsetting because we really wanted the Stegodon. Just to see what double Stegodon would do to this. That's a bummer. Now we bounce probably the Tithe, I imagine. Mondi knows what all the ice on the table is. Actually, no. In theory, if they're tracking, they should know that this is a Tattoo Bola. Yeah, you do. You do. That's correct. You can deduce remote is a Bola. It's a bit tricky, but yeah. But remote should be a Bola because there is 2 Tattoo Bolas in rotation. Bless. Kurapira had 2 counters, actually. It might have been wrong to res this. The 1 credit actually didn't matter. Yeah, it might have been wrong. Us getting 4 credits is okay, but I don't know if it matters that much. Tithe going back. Yeah, that's an expensive reinstall. All right. I think we just put this in server 2 to see what happens. Actually, no, I don't think we do. I think we push here. The Bladive is our weakness for sure. Okay, so we'll batten down this hatch. This Ablative is weak. If Mondi just farms this, but we can always like de-res something. Just keep the game moving. Spin Doctor, the only card draw card in our deck. We have 1 sprint. It's not the only card draw card we have, but it's it does draw more than the basic action. And the basic actions are pretty good. Should you overwrite the Bladive with Tattoo? I think I want to keep the Bladive, Jeff, because we're a Stegodon deck. And a Bladive is messed up. You're right, though. The Kurapira is actually causing us some stress. But I think, like, we're hoping that we can de-res this sooner than later. It's up to Mondi to tunnel RD. Like, right now, right? That's all we needed. We just need to get it de-resed. We can let this Axis go in. Tithe again has 3 subroutines every time it's de-res, which is only going to be once a turn. Oh, man, I really wanted that second Stegodon. That would have been so fun for one of us. Double-clicking this. Why? Yeah, our goal is just not to res this anymore. Like, we do want a 3rd ice here, but Ablative will be good enough, I think. Like, if you're not going through the on-sell, what's in hand that Mondi doesn't want to take the damage? There's no way Mondi clicks through the on-sell because they know there's a magnet here. This might have been wrong, actually. We might have not wanted to res the Tithe and just res the magnet. Because Mondi can't get through on-sell magnet. I forgot the credit made it undue turn, sorry. No, it's okay. But you can only alarm clock now. Yeah, I don't know what that's gonna change. Maybe 1x Carmen. I would assume it's the last Carmen because that's the second time that Mondi like really evaluated this. Forgot the credit. I don't know what that means. Oh, maybe they want this to fire. Yeah, because they actually need a lot of credits for the magnet now. Hit a Carmen. Oh, forged. Okay, that's fine. Forged is kind of frustrating against the deck, but also you don't want to let us res all the ice. Gain a credit now. It's up to them to stop the end of the run here. Very importantly, this is the first ice encountered, so it's not like you can fire the first ice and then just double click through the unsell, which would be probably the best way to do it. But also just like the first run, like Alarm Clock is being used as it is in standard to just like disrupt Stegodon. Oh, this is a sec testing, so we have to destroy this. We want to keep some good cards in here because of ablative. So I'm going to put back in Hedge Fund and the face down Vovo, I think. We already have one Seamus in hand. This should be enough. Stego is such a natural predator knife. Yeah, the fact that you have to run everything. I think Stego is just such a rough card that it like absolutely promotes tunneling. And unfortunately, this deck can't tunnel. Mondi probably needs some non-run based economy in this deck, whether it's on Lib or it's on Stone Ship. Not Stone Ship, the other one. But I think we've seen all the influence. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh no, 5 left. Telework maybe? I should have read this before, but it's fine. Oh shit, I don't want to draw that. Potentially trashing the spin by raising if the spin was the play. Yeah, actually, Bob, that was a better play because I'd rather get the spin back in the deck. That's totally true. Yeah, that's a way to make the server disappear. That's a much better play. Yeah, that's a really good good line. So now we have the Sam in hand. The remote server we know can be dealt with. Lucy, why are you awake? It started awake, but Lucy's awake way too early in the morning. I guess you are too, Ba. We can discard that. Or we can just score it. Can just install the Rego over the Spin Doctor. Do we want to score the Sam? Like, our board state's pretty bad for the send a message. Like, of course it's pretty bad. This pause here is like pretty telling that something is afoot. I was talking about this the other day. Like, these are the sort of pauses that like you need to practice this. Startup strongest soldier. And if startup has no fans, I am dead. This is safe. We have ablative. This is safe. We're gonna send a message and res a magnet. It's gonna be sick. And we're gonna be technically on game point, but in a really ugly way because we have to score the last send a message, of which there's one in the deck. It also gets the threat 4 like immediately, which I don't know if we're excited about. It makes the magnets better. It makes ablative good, but like being on threat 4 for as long as possible is not a great thing to do against a deck that has 3 Estebrados. You may be sleeping, but that's because your mind has been addled by TikTok and Rashida Yahim. I've experienced the tranquility of clicking to draw. Stegodon. So thinking, what is the line here? What does Mondi do? Tithe fires. Triple click through on cell? Can we res a magnet? What if we de-res the magnet? The magnet becomes too expensive. But then Mondi runs the magnet. I'm just gonna see what happens here. I don't know what's gonna happen here. It's past midnight. Like honestly, I don't know if I can figure out the Stegodon lines. Oh, excuse me. It's on me. Double clicks a Tithe. Gets a J Chinyu down. Why? Threat 3. Of course, threat 3. Probably gonna jack out here. Oh, that's why they forgot the credit, because the J Chinyu installed. That was the idea from the last turn. Okay, cool. That's kind of frightening, isn't it? Just getting free magnet. Mana Garment Central makes some amount of sense. Okay, money's not good, and we have to play around this. Ablative is online. It's been for a moment. They know all our ice besides this. They might assume this is a tattoo bola. They can send it HQ, but that's not good enough. Estebrado is now online. We actually could lose relatively quickly. I think we just get a res dice on R&D. Shibboleth's gonna struggle to break this, but Estebrado's now like, I don't know, this is gonna be good for us. Ablative can get back a Managarm on HQ if the order of the runs is correct. Okay, magnets in hand. That's okay. Ablative now gets us back Vovo, which is a fair bit of money, or Regolith in the remote server if we want to just recover and like batten down the hatches. Our big ice, we have one more Boto and I think one more Uncell. Sec testing is on HQ. Okay. Do we want to de-res something here? It doesn't actually change the math. A Tithe will probably be tanked. On Cell, you need to click through most of it, but you don't need to click through all of it, but most of it. I don't think changing the numbers on this run makes that much sense. You can just go through this. Yep. Oh, okay, there's 2 more unknown influence. That's sick as hell. That's really cool that you can do HQ, then do R&D and do this all on the knife play. But stealing agendas doesn't actually help. So I'm imagining that they're going to click through the first 2. Because the last one doesn't matter because it's sec testing. Oh man, a Crisium would be just busted good in this deck. No steal, no trash. Doesn't matter. And Monty can still... Oh, actually, Monty can't probably land this. Because they need to do Estebrado, and that is 4 credits. They only have 3. Oh shit, no, they have it. They could do it. They could do inside job Estebrado. Yeah, they could get the second knife in. We actually could lose. In like 2 turns, maybe? Oh, just running? Oh. But you don't have the money to do this? I'm hoping I'm not overextending at some point, but it costs like 1,000,000 credits to break a magnet, let alone we get this. Yeah, Crisium plus ablatives, it seems really gross. I think it's worth a slot. So it's either Regolith or Vovo. Vovo does a bit. Regolith is slow. We have a Regolith in hand. We'll just put Vovo in HQ. Now you draw Crisium's the knife shield. Yeah, it's very, very good into knife. It's very good into everything, though. And it costs 5 to trash. That's a big number. 3 to res is a bit much, but for our economy. Because this already costs like 3. Now, Kurapira hitting 3, like, I don't love it. And that means that, in theory, like, I think Monty might have just slightly goofed the math here. Yeah, that turned off the whole knife turn. Because if Monty can farm this ablative, the Botu goes down for free. But the problem is, like, this magnet costs 5 credits as long as we can de-res something. So you need to Estebrado it. With the knife pre-installed, you can probably do it. Okay, so we need a second Tithe somewhere. If we put the Tithe on archives, this Tithe is actually very important to position correctly. If the Tithe is on archives, it beats Estebrado, and then you actually have to break the magnet. It's more important to make 1 server big than 2 servers big. We res this, we get a bit of information. We can also slide Vovo over. These both cost 1. I'd rather just res Vovo and slide Vovo over, because then we can also res a Regolith for free. So it's a fair bit better. Yeah, I think that's a better way to get money. Stego's so toxic. This is just so tedious. De-res Stego. Yeah, we probably need to de-res the ablative, but we probably actually want to de-res the ablative on the turn that the magnet's being contested. Tithe, mind you, has an end the run subroutine. I think we just trade resing Tithes over and over again. I can't tell what to happen. My mind is cooked. It's literally Friday. I don't know what I'm meant to be doing. I don't think resing this one makes sense on the basis that, well, de-resing the ablative barrier actually does make sense. Bro's mind is cooked. I think getting the ablative, like, I don't think we can just have that ablative be farmable. Sorry, Maddie. I know this is going late. It's startup. I didn't realize that these games are much slower. We'll de-res this. I'm gonna be quieter. My partner's trying to go to bed, and it's quite late. Okay, welcome to ASMR Netrunner. Hey, Joel, man. This is the last one? Yeah, Toronto. This is the last one. It's midnight. Fire all. Okay. Got an Estebrado. That seems like a good hit. How loud am I? Is this? Can you hear this? Does this make sense? Is this loud enough? Please let me know if this is loud enough. I can like crank the gain. Has to install trash card. Losing a knife. Wait, that seems good. ASMR Never. I would fall asleep to that. Welcome. The levels are right. Very good. Do you want to hear what my fingernails sound like on my glass jar? All right. So the tithe ate a Jachinho. Something bad happens. Andre yells. I'm actually, yeah, I have to watch out that I don't curse really loudly. Sec testing is still in HQ. So this is still 2 clicks for 2 credits. And all the damage the tithe did. Negative strength breakers. You just love to see it. Okay. Didn't fire the subroutine. Shouldn't matter. Just a little sec testing over there. The remote server is... Honestly, we can't res any of it crap. Because it just makes the Botu too weak. Startup gameplay and Andreas Mar, the greatest stream. Welcome. The relaxing start. I should actually dim the lights probably. I've already taken this photo for the thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's late night. Audrey's voice is half the reason I listen to stream. Justin, glad you can make it. That's a nice light over there. Okay. Mondi, you're on 6 credits here. Second knife has just been jettisoned. Need to dim JNet too. It's pretty dim. We have a regolith and we're just going to hit that button. We're just going to click that button a couple times. Again, the first time we click that button, it's really good. We're going to move Vovo over to R&D, I imagine. You want one of those blue light filters for the stream? Yeah. Well, you put Flux on your phone or whatever. God, I forgot what kind of people. We're Brasilia gamers. God, Brasilia gamers. When we put this on R&D, Andy is going to be really upset. This 3 strength is a lot. I'm just going to go put that on R&D real quick. Turn this on. I'm just going to hit this a bit. I'm going to have 10 credits. Now, what does Brasilia do? I'll be honest. Don't entirely. I'm pretty sure it makes you do a lot of math real quick. So if we do the math, tithe will be 5 strength. That's a big. Depraved strength is what. When you res a piece of ice during a run against a server, you may de-res another installed piece of ice. It could be on this server, which means Stegodon. As long as a piece of ice has been de-res, it doesn't care. It doesn't care how you got there. It just cares that you got there on your own time. The res dice gets +3 strength for the remainder of that run. This magnet, it's going to be tall enough to touch God. Get Leech. Leech. Oh, Debbie has text. That's fun. Earthrise. Mondi's money is disappearing. 9 cards left in the stack. Oh, just magnets. We actually do need to keep a good piece. Just a good piece of... Oh, the lights are totally changed now. Hold on. This is worse. There's a problem now that I need to change the lights, but it's going to turn all the lights on. So close your eyes. Close your eyes for just a bit here. Just a second. Oh, that's acceptable. That's fine. Thrice. Mondi is on 1 credit. Dice hits HQ. So deep in this Stegodon tank. Sepia Tone Andre though. Startup players are going to be in for a rude surprise when they move to standard and they're told they need to finish a game in 35 minutes. I think they can do it. they can do it. Okay, alarm clock. This is a mega net. Choose a piece of ice to de-res. I think we're gonna be okay. If we res the mega net, we'll have a mega net. I don't know why I'm resing. I'm just vibing. This might not be correct. Bypasses mega net. Chechinio's down. Okay, that was gonna just happen. Walks away. Yep, 0 credits. 1 prepaid voice pad. I feel like Mondi hasn't used the prepaid voice pad somehow. Games are faster in person because clicking for 2 credits is faster over the table on Jaden. I don't think that. Mondi, don't de-res our ice. That gives us strength. Makes us more powerful. Mondi, I will res all of this ice here. Mondi, I'm gonna res this boat too. Mondi, I'm gonna do it. Don't make me do this, Mondi. I'm gonna res the boat too here. Let's just go to fire. Oh, the Brado is gone. I don't have to trash a card. I don't care if you get in, I don't think. Do I? I don't think I need this, but why shouldn't we have it? We should keep this. This is a nice thing. Jai, it got too late. I started a startup game at 11:20 and it's 46 minutes in. It's Mondi. We're both having a great time. I feel like ASMR Andre is becoming increasingly hinge. It's, well, I drew a hammer. That is gonna be so bad. For Mondi. I don't want to spread. I feel like we don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything here. I think we just put ice on the table. Just click for credit. Next turn, we'll be ambitious. We'll go for a little run. We'll go for a little run together. Go for dark heart. Remote server does suck at us. We probably should not put that. I'm gonna say that's a gross under. I'm just gonna undo that one. Actually, just gonna put that there. I'm just gonna take a credit. I don't think this is not a problem. Just take 2 credits. That the math works out. Just gonna leave Volvo where he is. He's got his tea. His mask is coming off. Why shouldn't I keep it? Why are we being quiet? Santa, it's really late. And my partner we have a bedroom attached to the studio. I started a startup game. I was inconsiderate. Probably should have realized that these games aren't fast. She wouldn't have the Métropole Grid ASMR stream. I consider startup week a success. Monty's bottom of the no carpe diem. We're just doing this. I don't know what this does. How quiet you are despite being at 600%. Magnet? Oh, sorry, Monty. You're gonna double click for it? Do you think part of this has to do with playing Stegodon? I think Stegodon is definitely a contributing factor to the way that this game is going for both of us. Yeah, I think that's an important part. Fire all, yeah. Honestly, it's fair. That's a fair run. It cost you nothing. You're out there, you're getting some exercise. You got to see if we Stegodon for no reason. That's a fun run for alarm clock there. It's a lower volume format. Alex, that is really funny, but I'm not gonna laugh because it would be loud. Mondi, you can't concede on me. Please don't be typing in chat. I'm conceding this one because I hear you. Mondi, please have a hopeful message. We need hope. I have an FAO in hand, and hell if an idiot would descend at this point. You know, two. That's all. I think Mondi was advantaged in the game had they spent more time clicking for credits. Honestly, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a swamp, that Stegodon. 50 minutes of the game, you think the corp would have a lot of agendas in hand? But the thing is, if you don't have a card draw, like that's the Rashida. Draw more cards. 16 points and 21 cards in R&D. I am frightened. We could lose. Don't do it. They're so cheap. They're cheap. Don't do it. Shit, I should have trashed that. It's a barrier. Does Monty not have a killer anymore? Oh. Oh. I think Monty is 1 hour less late than I am. For the game. It's a lower volume format. I'm not keeping your order for this. Oh, man. Hey, cheers. Take care, Monty. Monty's a treasure. Man, I can't believe we got their card. Let's just look at that top deck of R&D. Let's just peek at the R&D. Let's just give it a little peek. Oh, fuck. This game would have taken another 2 hours. Have you seen where the agendas are? We have to draw 1, 2, 6, 7. We have to draw 8 more cards. We have to draw 8 more cards. I would have sprinted, yeah. 8 more cards. Did they play seriously 50 minutes after losing their killer? Yeah, but like they can win. They have Vestabrados and inside jobs. They had a chance. This upgrade is probably not helping them. Oh, shit. What a game. I don't think I like playing a lot of Corpse and Startup. They seem kind of miserable. Do you want me to do an art reveal at 12:30? A Friday morning art reveal? I'll do it. I'll effing do it. Truly depraved. Knife is like that. Knife them. Do it. Okay, the one that you last sent me, or is there an update? No killer. They lost it. They lost it to damage. I botoed it. Sleep if you rather. This will take a minute. Hold on. Hey everyone. Hold on. We gotta. Oh no, cat. This is gonna fuck up the mood. I sent you to. The mood of this is really calm, and then I'm gonna show the scariest man. I'm gonna just show the scariest man on stream. I want to take a second to warn y'all. Oh, it's really great. I haven't seen that one. The scariest man is gonna show up. Okay, y'all ready for this? We have a palette cleanser. Okay, we have a palette cleanser, but I'm gonna open the scariest man. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Oh shit. He's here. Very spooky. I recommend Sun Grazing R Plus. 12 minutes max. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's a Holloman. Yeah, it's a Holloman. You can tell it's a Holloman. It's frightening. It's genuinely frightening, cat. Well done. Startup legal card for startup week. Yeah, this is really good. Is he gonna eat me? I don't think so. I don't think he eats. He watches. Okay. It's beautiful. It's really good, Joe, man. These are Kizer's arts. They're selling them at World Championship 2024. It's in 3 weeks. It's gonna be sick. We've shown a couple other ones. You ready for the next one? Next one is a bit of a palate cleanser. It's a Miss Bones. Miss Bones. Got some trashing to do. Very cool. Got a black cat eating some stuff. Very nice. The kitty that trashes corpse servers. Gotta eat something. I just wanted to draw a cat. Yeah. Yeah. Really good. I'm surprised Miss Bones went this long without getting an alter. Great card. Very, very cool. Someone who's good at economy help me budget this. Let's just break things. That's what I do. Cat, these are great. On that note, I probably should close the stream. Thank you to all these names here. Stream and do video content like this. Shout out the last Patreon. I think we had a Patreon. So, Jonathan Pickles. I think someone changed their name. You can change your name on here. I believe recently we have Eric join. Might shout out. Botos and joined, mind you, as a Campbell. Thank you so much. Can you whisper all the names really quick? Yeah, F it. It's been a minute since we've done one of these. I think Maddie's asleep, so I seem less rude. Don't wake her. You guys came. Thank you to all the patrons that support this channel. Adam Fraser, Adam Grandy, Adam Alec, or Cinderin. Say either. Andrew Jolly, Andrew Robertson, Arthur Jolly VQ, Arthur Pitt, Live Gain, Awesome Case, Baxter Ben, Bookkeeper, Catch and Cephalopod, Jazz, Christian, Grant Cross, and Cook, Devin, Invincibility, Dylan, and Ellen. Here on Monday, Yoon Mill, for that, George Osborne, and Yamsha. I feel fine. Andy Stardust, Jay Verrill, Jake English, Jake Zip, Jake Davis, Jason Kessner, Jenny, Asphyxia, Johnny Hollander, Jonky Bong, Jossie, Kiss, Matt Conduit, Mark Robinson, Joel Asheraz, Nathan Durant, Hodner, Nick C, Nikki 3.0, Allison, Pachamanka, Paul H, Ricardo Contreras, Rohit Couture, Ryan Lankin, Sam Sauce, Scott Humphrey, Sebastian Colorado, Shane. This is making me faint. Sean Devlin, it's the D-Works, Take One Two Tag, Murray McDuran, Vectors, Wenjong, Wheelwright, XDG, Zane. Mike's cutting out a bit. Shit. Thank you also to our Daily Cast patrons. Thank goodness Jockey Bong came through loud and clear. Yeah, there's probably a noise gate there that's going to cut out some of that. That made me dizzy. Honestly, that made me a bit dizzy. That was probably not a great idea. Thanks so much for hanging out. We'll be back on Friday with... No, that's not right. We'll be back on Saturday. Firstly, doing some casting. Hey, the names are back. Doing some casting on the summer, not the Showdown, the World Showdown that Man of the Moon is putting on. It'll be on Axu's channel. Link for that will be in the description. And we'll have Saturday morning, the next round of NANPC. We'll have the next round of NANPC on Monday morning. And Monday evening, there's a big chance that I'll be joining virtually on Neon Static's Monday night stream. So, content. Thanks for